Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of. Wow, that was amazing. Alright, what happened last time, gang? Adrian is not allowed to recap.
We were fucking sad.
Oh boy.
I love how all of us just died.
Where to begin?
Janelle was like, what the fuck?
I
What just
finally got
happened?
some answers.
You some what?
Got some answers about what the
answers.
fuck you're up to. So basically, nobody tells me anything the whole campaign. So I finally got some fucking answers.
Yeah. We were getting there, you know, it just takes time.
Can we recap those answers, like, very quickly?
Yes,
Yeah, go for it.
I asked what the hell just happened because everyone died but us. And Aaron said he made a deal with the skull. And the thing inside the skull, and we don't know what it is, but he's not like controlled by it. He doesn't have to do what it wants, but he's gonna.
Because
and
it's
he's
aligned.
like, because
yeah.
you're gonna want the same thing, is it? And I'm like, what? And then Aspen's like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And I'm like, oh yeah.
By the way, quirky little thing about me. I don't actually follow Rihanna. Don't know if you were aware or not. Just like letting you know, bestie. I'm actually
seems as good a time as
following a
any.
different god. So bestie, have you ever heard of Lapuana? Like, she's this like capricious child god, and you know, I'm on this quirky little quest to like release her back into the world.
She's gnarly.
I was like, that's a bad idea.
The
Total.
surfer dude.
Totally wizard!
Ride that wave.
Whoa, dude! Taking
Oh
on
my
the
God.
jellies.
I need some palm tree delight.
That's a really good impression of Crush from Finding Me.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
carry
really?
on. Carry on, my wayward party.
And Akra was like, that sounds like a bad idea. And Nebra's like,
Could it
What's
be
another-
worse?
what's another
How it is
tyrant
right
in the world? Also, Aaron was a little angry with Ginevra for touching the skull in the first place, so there was a little bit of a tip about that.
Mhm.
That was
We
basically
also
along the
heard
lines of stop touching things.
And I'm like,
Roar.
No
She,
touching.
I'm like, Tia literally was reaching out to her. I just got there first.
We also heard the phrase "claim my orange sister," which we all suspect relates to a certain demon rock we've been talking about for 30 sessions.
Special pebble.
Special.
Not the only
The shiny.
special pebble we found.
Oh my god.
We searched the bodies and we found some really important things. One of which being a rock, a like white stone with red flaws inside of it. Which due to I think it was magic bullshit, I don't remember. Is that
It's-
someone's memory or magic shenanigans?
It
We
doesn't
found
have
out
it doesn't
that-
have a color, the main rock, but then it has like
Oh,
in its
it's clear.
matrix, it has
Yes,
like spots
sorry.
of light, which is the
Yes,
source.
my brain put white and has no color in the same category for stones for some reason.
Yeah, Titania,
Kinda.
Titania found what she identified from her training as a soul gem on Osprey's body, which was that clear gemstone, alongside both Osprey's, just nabbed Osprey's spellbook and also a handkerchief, which helped Titania deduce Osprey's true identity as one Chrysanthi de Martoti. So,
I'm the only one who knows where that's from, and I haven't revealed it yet. Because we're
Hey.
excited to do other things. Also, at a later point, but similar body searching topic. Could have phrased that so much better. I got a note from Silas that was signed Valentin as his actual name that left me a key to his worldly possession stash, and I have yet to recover emotionally from the sadness of that event. It was like a, hey, congrats on killing me.
Yeah, killing a god, you know.
I loved
And
it. He was
I
so
think I
great.
failed to mention that after the love Valentine, there was a set of coordinates. You were so sad that I forgot to mention it. The coordinates.
I was sad. Silas was great. But I have to use some of the money for sex or drugs. as per his
User code.
instructions.
I also
So-
found religious tattoos on Meulen that were deliberately faded, as if he was going through the process of having them removed, suggesting he may have been turning away from the church, which still was not proof of the fact that he could have been an agent of La Puana.
I meant he was
but-
undercover.
But yeah, like, I mean, he had given me some coding, and so I wasn't sure. But that's further evidence that he may have been a trustworthy source, but it was too late. He was already dead. And we burned them!
Oh my, we gave them proper funerals, actually.
Same thing. In this world.
Yeah, we
And-
had a tense
yeah.
conversation with Dennis and Medea, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna hold a funeral because this is very unfortunate and tragic. They deserve better.
Celia returns!
Yeah.
Yeah, and Aaron brought back his horse, which I'm sure, once Aaron's over being poisoned, Akron's gonna be like, where the fuck did the horse come from? Gonna have
I mean, it's been there
questions.
for a while. Like, it was done the night before, right? When you're doing the funeral. So
Mhm. Then everybody goes to
Just
sleep
shows
and we
the-
wake
the
up.
day
and-
that
everyone was
came.
less sad.
Yeah. So now the party's all back together again.
Yeah, and then early in the morning, Acheron is woken or hears someone moving about and finds Medea trying to leave, and the two have a conversation where Medea wants to return to Crow Hill, find redemption or whatever, and Acheron tries to convince her that that's a stupid fucking idea because she's gonna get tortured or betray us or killed or worse, and it ends up with Acheron throwing down an ultimatum. You're with us or you're against us, and there's only one thing you do with people who are against you. And when Medea makes her decision, which is to leave, Acheron lets the party know by screaming. Which, for RP and character reasons, I think it's fun to point out that, specifically for Titania, I don't think Titania's ever heard Acheron scream before, so that's a funky first for you.
I think you said you shouted like to alert the party. I'm not sure.
Oh
you
no, it was
specifically
like
said
scream.
Oh,
No
okay.
words,
Like,
just
everybody
screaming
wake
as
the
loud
fuck
as
up.
possible. Yeah. Oh, there was that,
Like
but
a
then I also just
siren.
like kept screaming.
Like a fire truck.
Throughout the forest. Yeah, clearly. I don't know if there's fire trucks. In this
Yeah,
setting.
that's how Acheron screams.
Well, it never happens. It's not intimidating.
Okay.
And then there's a really fun, and by fun I mean absolutely emotionally devastating combat of just round after round of Acheron and Medea trying to kill each other.
I was desperately trying to catch up. Me running faster than Zelia.
Crazy.
During which, I got my ass poisoned.
Yeah.
And, but I won.
It's a fair
Did
trade.
you?
Did you know?
Your emotions
Definition of
didn't, that's for
one.
sure.
Thank you for taking the rounds on that one. Ajax, much appreciated.
Oh, trust me, the pain for everyone else is coming this session. I
Here
plan
comes
to
the
I
pain,
plan to
King.
spread it around. If I hurt, we hurt.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh wait. Oh god. There we go. Perfect. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks or so. A quest for a queen, a wedding, tumultuous evening at a tavern, prisoners of the Ainur Basilica, getting to the pass, dealing with the first line of the Raven Moors, mountain climbing with potential dire consequences, the storm, the chaos in the sky, the Highland Lake with a divine twist, then the fated valley, the old and unexpected crone, the assault on the Ravenmoor mining camp, then the cave, the secret room, the ancient terror unleashed. Recently, the ultimatum to a lost lover, the betrayal, and then death. One after the other, Ginevra, Aaron, Titania, you find Acheron in the underbrush by an unmoving figure of Medea, with a bloodied knife in their hand and a cold sweat in their forehead. All the while a mountain bird sings in the fresh summer morning. Through the pines and past the sandy and grassy shoreline there are gentle waves on the valley lake, and then above are towering white clouds happily sailing by. But the world is spinning on its axis for Acheron.
We don't have an answer to the...
And maybe because of more than just the deed they've just performed. How do you all react?
I suppose it's a matter of who arrives first.
Well, you never first and then the horse comes, but it's like seconds, like mostly a minute.
Yeah, I think that she would immediately be asking what's wrong, what's the threat, but then on seeing the knife, kind of put two and two together, probably be silent for a moment and try to ascertain what Acheron's demeanor mood is, if they seem like they're about to snap, or if they're in like a kind of weird crazed state, or if they're very calm, to know how to approach them.
They are... So it's like Medea ground, Acheron is like knelt, like sat like on their knees, like next to them, just like the hand with the knife just like limply at their side, just kind of looking at the body. And it's an eerie calm. Like, Acheron hasn't been dishonest of how much Medea meant to them. I think everyone would be perhaps correct to expect an emotional reaction, or even like tears, watering eyes at the least. It is just a pure cold calm as they just kind of look at the body of their ex-lover dead by their own hand.
Acheron, what happened?
Acheron will take several... I think Acheron takes several moments to like register people are there, and I imagine the others would have arrived in this time. So for the sake of
Yeah. If you're not
I'm gonna let
answering
them
for a while, then yeah.
Acheron's
Celia
simply taking
with Aaron.
long seconds to think.
Yeah, then
In that time, I think Ginevra would also kneel down.
Okay.
Across the other side of Medea's body.
All right. Then Celia comes rushing to the spot with Aaron and Titania on the back, and you see Acheron with the bloodied knife and Ginevra kneeling beside the unmoving corpse of Medea.
Titania just curses under her breath and then quickly leaps off of Zelia and goes over to Acheron and says, Acheron, you're hurt. Just kneels down and gives Acheron a quick hug and is gonna take a few seconds to do that and then look over Acheron's wounds, even though it's not exactly her specialty.
Acheron, I think, will quietly, like, at the, oh, you're hurt, and, like, as Titania looks over, the first thing Acheron says, I'm gonna say a little louder than Acheron did. I imagine Acheron speaks, like, so quietly, it's probably, like, hard to hear them when they say it, but you just hear, I've been poisoned. Just quietly and matter-of-factly.
Yeah, in that
Never
vein,
Oh.
the world is slightly spinning, and you feel lethargic.
Whenever Acheron's hurt, do you know anything about treating poisons?
I don't know. I don't think I ever got to that point. I can try and do some healing, but I don't know whether it will draw the poison out at all. Did she hurt you? Are you okay? Other than that?
I did what I had to do.
Okay. And I'll go over how hurt are you looking?
It looks bad.
Right.
Acheron does not look well.
Okay. I'm gonna try and do I'll do level 2 just because my level 3 is saved for revivification. I can't lose that soul.
Fair. So fair. Acheron might recommend quietly that someone should search, specifically saying someone should search the body, not calling Medea by name. See if it has an antidote.
Titania will give one more tight squeeze to Acheron and like make sure you're okay for her to break away, and will then go to check Medea's body.
And I'll swap places and come over and start looking over Acheron's wounds. So I had to do the spell roll first, right? See if it...
I think Acheron's put down the knife at this point.
You can. It doesn't really matter in which order you do it because the spell always goes off.
Okay. That keeps the spell if it's level 2.
Level 2, yeah.
Awesome, so
14
rarely
is what you required.
Okay, cool. Great. Okay, so now I heal you. It's Cure Wounds level 2. How much is Cure Wounds? You can tell how much I do healing. 1d8 plus spellcasting. Okay.
Second level is 2d8?
Yeah. Thank
Ye-
you. And I also get extra because I'm a healer person.
Make the an investigation canine, Titania, as you look over Medea.
Alright. Can I cast guidance on myself?
Sure, since it's a longer check. Yeah.
Make that roll. Natural 2. That's an 11.
11. Well, she has a light crossbow, a few bolts left, dagger in her backpack. There are common clothes, travel's clothes, and fine clothes, ready for any and all circumstances, indeed. Then, of course, she has, survival things, some rope, rations, tinderbox, water skin, a bedroll, that kind of things. And then there's also 2 empty vials in one of her pockets.
I found vials of poison, but no antidotes.
listen to the Mars because Mars is no.
I will be.
Okay, you just broke smoke. For
I will survive. I've been through this before.
You know what you've been poisoned by.
Can Acheron... Sorry, go ahead.
Aaron's just like still on Zelia, just like
Looking down, yeah.
well, looking down, looking around, just like yeah, sure, okay. You're all in the forest, strange forest. Someone's got to be vigilant.
Fair.
Can Acheron make some kind of check to try to maybe identify, if not what poison is, what like vein of poisons it might be from, based on experience with them and what symptoms they might cause, and or experience having
For sure. You had.
Let's call it testing out being poisoned as part of their training.
Yeah. Poison class, very fun.
Yeah.
Do you have academics poison?
I do.
Yeah, let's roll that.
Okay. Remind me how academics works.
It's an intelligence check where you know,
Okay.
just add your proficiency bonus modified by your rank.
Okay, I gotta make sure I update my skills. 1 second. I bad at math.
Which is your rank?
I have 2, so that's a plus.
When I was born, I had
Plus the
laughed
just
at you
proficiency
boys.
modifier, I think.
Just use your proficiency
Okay.
bonus plus your intelligence.
Okay.
Now look at it. It's immense. So long. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's not Reddit.
Slash R.
Oh, sorry.
Subreddit 1d20.
I can never remember what order it goes in.
That's fine. We're
I
here
have
to
to
remind
pick myself
you.
every time.
13. Well, that's enough because this is pretty standard. I mean, this is Corona, the devil syrup or Miss Death
That's
Honey.
right. I should not be excited about that, but I was right.
You fucking got COVID.
You got COVID.
Put a mask on that.
And
will-
you know that it leads to immediately the target weakening, as in HP damage, but it also leads to liver problems.
Akram will just relay that information, like monotone, matter of fact, and almost sounds like they're like reading like from a textbook or something like that, more than like speaking about being poisoned. They're just like, these are the symptoms, this is what happens.
The poison attacks my liver. It causes this and this. I will not be able to drink alcohol for this number of days. Yeah.
It's just very like matter of fact. Like Akram does not seem to be feeling much right now.
Well, then it could be worse. If it's just unable to eat alcohol and other poisons for a certain period of time, at least it's not going to cause continuous damage to you over time.
I have ample experience with being poisoned. I will be fine, more than likely.
How are you looking after that first healing? And when she's healing,
Much better.
she actually covers her hand. If there's either a fresh water source nearby or otherwise her own water, I think she covers her hand in that and runs that over the wounds. Kind of focuses.
That looks a lot better, like a lot better.
Okay.
No longer bloodied for systematic purposes, so maybe looks still. I think it's hard to tell, to be honest. Gauge like if they're feeling better, but they do look much less wounded.
She just kind of rests her hand, I guess, on your shoulder gently and squeezes a bit, looking at you with those familiar eyes.
She was attempting to go.
Was it inevitable?
The death of
Isn't
the
it?
leaving.
Yes.
No, I could have let her go.
Why didn't you?
Does Aaron look how does Aaron look? Like, is this like a judgmental question or a curious question?
He doesn't look like he looked when he was judging Ginevra for touching a skull.
Okay.
It's more.
Okay.
I mean, based on our, relationship, you can take it as more a strategy or tactical. Like, was this something that you just had to do,
Yeah.
rather than like judgment or any emotional attachment to it?
Okay. Acheron would think for a minute, would say, or not like a full minute, just like a couple seconds. Like they're, it's, I think, kind of just like a slow blink, might be interpreted as they're thinking or they're dealing with whatever, being poisoned is doing to them. I would say, if she had gone back, they would have killed her if we were lucky, and tortured her until she told them everything if we were not. This was the safest option for us. She would have broken. And this way, no one can hurt her ever again. She would have given us up. All of us.
I believe you. You know better than all of us what would have happened to her.
Yeah. Titania will, having searched through Medea's body, will come back and give Acheron another hug and say, if she was going to try and leave, I think this was honestly probably the best outcome. And I only hope she finds peace. I think he did the right thing.
We're going to have to bury her out here. We can't tell Dennis what happened. Or we can, but we'd have to kill him as well, which is an option.
So what do we tell him?
She left. She attacked me and she ran away.
Did you tell him to go home?
I think
We
it would be
can't.
best for him. But I
He
don't know
is-
what he's going to handle on his own.
He knows too much. They'll kill him as soon as he gets back.
Maybe he's better staying over this side.
He would be. If he ever returns to Crow Hill or any other territory largely controlled by specifically Irene, but more generally the church. Best case scenario, may let him go, but he's watched for his entire life, and if he ever says anything, him and anyone he ever spoke to about anything will be systematically killed off. Worst case scenario, they torture him for everything he knows about us and leave him to die in some dark hole where no one will ever find him. Throw out his body when they're done.
I think it might be a trouble to persuade him of this course of action, but the best thing for him to do might be to disappear over the mountains, forsake his identity, and if he ever feels safe, then return to his family. Maybe.
He'll never be safe as long as the church is around.
You're not.
I wonder if he can make it to shore. And that might be out for him. Boats
He
go
might-
all over.
He could stay with us. He might be useful.
We'll let him decide.
I want to at least bury her, if we can.
We have. We're not exactly in much of a rush at this point, so. No time like the present to get some space to breathe and mourn.
Ginevra looks up at Aaron if he's gonna help Barry with his brawny arms. These three
The strongest
skinny
of us.
people.
Yeah, three small people, and one of us is very poisoned right now. Please.
Aaron looks a little bit pensive about the conversation about Dennis, thinking to himself, I don't have any reason to keep our captives alive.
Would you rather I kill him?
If what you say is true and that his life is forfeit now that he knows about us and knows that he can never return to the church, or that we feel like he will give up our position and our intentions and what we aim to do, yes, I do.
He's just a soldier.
And
There are plenty
soldiers-
of places where the church doesn't have reach enough to get him. This being one of them.
What you know, Ginevra, and what we're intending to do. We can't let any loose ends affect what our intentions.
It's not like he knows what our intentions are. He just knows that something happened.
He could
The
lead
day
other
ran off.
people to us, and we spent so long trying to escape.
I think the right thing to do is to let him make a decision. And if he decides to go back, then we're forced to deal with it. If he decides to continue onwards, try to find a life outside of the church, then it's likely
Hey.
the landscape will take him. If not, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect us. He's
I
just a soldier.
appreciate you're trying to be the priestess here, Ginevra, but this is not
I'm
a
trying
time
to
of
be
peace.
anything. This is what I believe.
Your compassion is your crutch right now.
I think your lack of empathy is yours. I
He
think
can never be allowed to leave our company until our quest is over. If we take him with us, he stays with us until we're done.
then let him make that decision. Whether he joins us or he doesn't.
He doesn't join us.
He dies.
She nods.
Aaron will instruct Azealia to get closer to Akron, seeing that they're weak, and saying, "Do you need assistance back to camp, or you would prefer to do your rituals here?"
Can Acheron physically walk right now?
Physically, yes, but your speed is halved.
So faster than most people.
Probably just
Yeah.
as fast as most people, to be
The
honest.
fastest limper on the planet.
You got exhaustion level 2. You got disadvantage on all vitality checks, and you're poisoned.
Maybe Bogdana has something that could help.
Yeah, being prideful's nice. Being not fucking awful is better. Aaron's cool. Akron will accept the help. A little looking almost comically, given the situation that Akron should be upset about killing the person they love, or maybe having to kill Dennis, or the situation. Akron looks the most miffed by needing to accept help, which. Is this displacement? Who knows? But we'll begrudgingly accept the help.
Aaron's gonna jump off Zelia and to allow the saddle free for Acheron, and then
Yeah.
I guess pick up Medea. And
We can't take her back to camp. We have to
To bury her here.
Do
We
we
have
want
no
to
shovels.
bury her here?
I mean, actually, we can't take her back to camp because actually Dennis here's the thing. So I guess Akron will. Going back, Akron would have presented the point that if we're keeping Dennis with us, we have two options with Medea. Either we keep it a secret and we lie to Dennis to try to give him, which won't be very effective in the long term because Dennis is going to figure out what we're doing eventually, and he's going to need to know the truth if he's going to have any chance of surviving. Or
He's gonna have to know.
we take her back and we explain what happened, and then Dennis makes an informed choice. So the question is, so we are villains, but the question is, how much do we value consent in this
We're
party?
not villains. We are people that are just like we're prisoners.
Ruthless.
That's true.
You wanted a great campaign. Here we are.
Yeah. So I think
It's just a soldier, guys. Just a
Listen.
soldier who wants a family. Like, he doesn't
It's
want to
gonna-
get involved in all
You
this
know
shit.
what? And now
wrong
he doesn't get
place.
to
He'd
have
quite happily
one.
leave it all behind and just go and find a wife and
For
just
the
live
greater
happily
good.
somewhere else.
If
I've
only
changed my
the world
answer.
worked that way.
I think we should take Medea back
If you
with
give him
us.
a
And
chance.
I think he should be able to make an
Cleaning with-
informed decision, knowing what we are. So I think we should.
I think
take
like
Medea
putting
back with
Medea
us,
on the back
actually.
of Zelia and walking out.
I don't know. I think just telling him that if he chooses to go back, then he's dead. I think that's enough. I think showing them we killed this woman is just going to make him hate us. I don't think it's going to help.
You can
his
choose a
cause.
spot to bury Medea and then go back to camp and take some shovels. And if Dennis asks why, you're like, just shrug your shoulders.
I mean, we could just like find rocks and like pile rocks on top of her. We don't have to like
Viking
dig
style.
under the ground. Yeah, Viking style.
Yeah.
We don't.
Well,
You don't
I
have
think
to dig.
Acheron is. I don't think Acheron is mentally well enough to be making this decision. So Acheron's just gonna sit there while people argue over what to do with Medea.
Oh.
Aaron doesn't care. Like in terms of this ritual, it's like this seems like a weird ritual to him to first
Basically,
burn people and then to like bury them. So
Acheron's only thing is Acheron's big thing is, which Acheron would have explained, would have been, saying something along the lines of, I just don't want to leave her out, like she didn't mean anything.
No, I can't. I don't have the strength to bury her, but I can help set up a cairn of some sort. A grave.
I'm sure there's more rocks down by the water's edge.
Mm.
I don't know your customs, but she meant something to you. Looking at Akron, we know that's to be true. Whilst I didn't particularly enjoy her company and every single time that I met her, I think it's valid that she impacted your life. And that you should at least take a pause.
I
Will
mean,
help.
she was Rihanna, so burning her would be traditional, but honestly, none of us ever expected to get graves in the first place, so I think anything is a step up from the expectation.
Well, she already knew that even if she was Rihannish and dying in the traditional way didn't really take her anywhere. So who knows? Maybe time for new customs.
I think Akron would agree to the, like, either the going back and getting shovels or the rocks thing. The rocks thing seems like a decent idea. That way we don't have to get shovels.
Let's go with that.
Alright. Then
Mm.
pick up Medea. Not like sling her over, but like,
Yeah.
maneuver her over the flanks of Zelia and take the reins and walk the split lovers out.
And despite all their feelings against Rian, as Medea was Rianish, Ginevra will say the funeral prayer for her. She's laid down.
I think Akron would take one of the feathers off of their, like, pan flute they have, and bury it with Medea as, like, a last. One of the ones Medea found them back in their
Oh, we didn't go back to camp.
It sounds so fucked up to say back in their happy days when they were both like actively like hostages in the church, like killing people. But like,
I mean, you make things work. I mean, you if you're in a shitty situation, you make it work, right?
yeah, so I would leave
happens
one of
in
the
them.
feathers. Medea gave them back in the day.
Poke out the top. Little mark.
Oh, okay. Do you say any words or just be quiet for a while?
I think Ekro would say a little, again, just a little, like, it's not like a proper prayer, it's just a little improvised, like, much more bitter, I think, this time, rather than the other agents being like, hey, I know they made mistakes, but, Rion, if you're out there, like, look over them, it's more like a, listen, you fucked up the first time, don't fuck it up this time, now that I know you're real. It's a much more, like, aggressive
You better or else.
thing at yeah, it's like a listen. Medea was one of it's Medea was one of the most devout people I knew to you, and now that I know you're real, you don't get a second chance to fuck this up, so make it right type prayer. Cause let's start in a god while we're at it, you know? I haven't done that yet. I think it's time. And, you know, another quick little, like, hey, Henry, I don't know if you're out there, but at least you two are together now. Ugh. And then it's kind of...
Damn.
Tanya will just like have a hand on Acheron's shoulder and stand by their side.
Guess we head back to camp.
At least she got more dignity than you expected, I guess. A small victory over what the church wanted for you.
Yeah. We'll make them pay for this one day.
We
One
will.
day soon.
Okay.
And
So-
united in hatred, we return to camp.
You see Gorkov is like circling the camp from above with some fake caca when you get close. Telling Savannah what's up.
Flippin' magpie.
Oh, it's all black for me.
Why is there a freaking line in the middle of the camp?
I can't see
Why
Why
anything.
is there a
It's just
line in
black.
the middle of the camp?
What have you done?
I haven't done anything.
Yes,
There's not a
um,
line in the middle of the
I-
camp.
Like dynamic
it's probably 'cause
lighting?
No,
I
I'm
threatened
checking
Rion.
dynamic lighting right now, and there is no line. I am so confused.
Everything is black.
Can't
Should
see
I bring my
anything.
person back in?
Okay, let's you know what? Let's remove
Dynamic lighting?
It's like fucked up right now.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Hey.
I can see now.
It's so bright.
Good morning.
Yeah, so Bogdana is not surprised when you return. She still sits on one of the barrels over here, smoking a pipe now, while Dennis is walking around looking very anxious.
I think once we're in the camp, Akron will be like, okay, I've had enough help, thanks. Get off the horse. Like, good, thanks, man.
Sure.
I don't
Of the
want
horse,
to
Aaron,
appear
how did-
weak. Yeah,
When did Zelia get here?
Oh, whilst you were doing your fire thing, well, you managed to find me once more. Just like I said you would.
Do they not have funerals where you're from?
I've never been to
People
one.
die.
Yes, but we don't, like, put them in the ground or burn them.
Do you
We,
drop them off the edges of the clouds? What a serious question. By the way. Like, Akron asked that with like full
Excuse me whilst
Jennifer
I,
doesn't laugh, but I do.
Same
Should
here,
we also
yeah.
like check Bexxy's notes for like funeral activities on the Celestial Conclave?
I
Just one
haven't
hot
decided
second.
anything. You can decide yourself. I didn't go that
Listen,
in depth.
it's a valid question, okay?
We just vanish them away.
What do you think would make sense? I do think
We
that
just
Just
every
ghost them.
We just leave
no,
it
every
there.
individual really is
I'm gonna
really
make a pile.
important. So I think that would be quite like.
I think it would have been a ritual, but it would have been more an act of returning to the source, so to speak.
Oh yeah,
since-
right. Yeah,
since the
you
soul-
know,
the source
since
is
you
the
know.
soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Returning to Cassia, basically.
Indeed.
So maybe it would
and
be like a bittersweet moment. Yeah, at least.
I suppose so, but given that where Aaron is from, there was no real disease, there was no real harsh environment. It was just merely a saying of goodbyes, just as if you're
Old
going on a
age.
long trip. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you pass through into a chamber, and what is learned from beyond that chamber is only for the devas to know.
I like that. Okay.
So all we did
Horrifying.
was say goodbye.
And just leave the bodies.
We didn't see bodies.
How did you
What?
know you didn't chance?
As in, we
What
knew.
do you mean?
We knew it was when it was the end of our time.
Oh.
Akron
knew
does
what-
not look like
Into
they could conceptualize this at all. Like the idea that there aren't bodies or this is everything the opposite of what everything Acheron knows about death, which Acheron considers a lot. So Akron's like, what the fuck?
I mean, I've seen bodies before, but in terms of like,
I fucking hope so.
but they weren't from where I was from. They were on the battlefield. Seeing corpses, crumpled bodies. It was quite a shock for me, but I got over that. But to answer your question, we didn't bury anyone. We knew when it was time, and we returned to the source. Returned to our deity.
as in physically travel there, or your bodies just get
Physically.
dissolved?
We knew where she was.
That's really fucking creepy, Aaron.
I think it's
No.
fucking creepy that you're just burning shit on the ground here, like they're just
It
some
sounds comforting.
firewood.
Be able to walk towards your deity when you know your time has come. Not less
Fascinating.
lonely than being burned or buried.
By the way, I recognize what kind of creature that is, Aaron, your horse. And I gotta say, I respect you more now.
You mean it's not a horse?
I think it's a bit more complicated than that. It's a bit like my Gorkov.
Akron just looks at Aaron, just like
Is
with a
it
why are you so
familiar?
complicated look.
A familiar of some kind? Titani will say.
That's one word for them, indeed.
Of course it's
No.
familiar. It's his horse.
And
It's-
Dennis
it's
kind
familiar in
of
the magical
listened.
sense. I'm sorry, Akira.
Dennis listened to you all with like big saucer eyes looking back and forth, and then like take a step forward. So what's going on? Like, why was everybody so in a rush? Where is Medea?
She attacked me and then she left us.
What? Why?
I think she was
Because-
overwhelmed with what was going on.
No, me too.
Do you want to leave?
What? Well, I kind of want to leave all of this behind, and that's no insult to anybody of you, because, man, I consider you friends by now, and it's like been real, but this has been a lot.
As
Unfortunately, friend to friend, it's too late for that. There's no going back now. I'm sorry.
The church will have you killed if you so much as step foot in any of their territories ever again. you know too much. And that's if you're lucky.
What?
And if you try to talk to anyone first, they'll kill all of your friends, all of your family, and anyone you've ever spoken to that might also know anything.
What?
I'm not lying to you. I promise. After all, that's what I used to do. As an agent.
This is all a little bit intense.
Well, I mean, it is the end of your life, so it probably should
What?
be.
If
You
I may,
are on a mission with multiple agents, soldier. This was always going to be an intense mission where you either succeed or you don't come back. That's the choice you have now. Go ahead, Tia.
if I may, Dennis, knowledge of church secrets, especially within the agent sphere, is very well protected, and we don't want to see you killed for having been involved in this mission, and your agents whom you were tasked with protecting having been killed. The unfortunate thing is that because of the situation, if you go back to church territories, the church is not going to be exactly fond of the knowledge you hold. And
But I don't mean any ill will.
Doesn't matter. They've killed children, parents, innocent people, landowners, anyone who stands in their way or
But
threatens them or has something they want.
But it's the church. They protect us. Protect
Dennis,
me.
breathe.
Okay, I'm trying. Whew.
Slow. Currently, we are interested in keeping you safe because
That's good. I like that.
Frankly-
I like that a lot.
you haven't done, with the information you've been given, you haven't done anything wrong of your own volition. However,
Good.
your best chance at safety and hopefully returning to your family at present is sticking with us as we move into the Ravenmoor's territory and potentially changing your look, your name, your identity, and disappearing for some time.
What? Oh God! Oh no! But Mom and Pa, no!
Would it make you feel better if I told you that they had been counting on killing you at the end of this the entire time?
What?
I'll take that as a no.
This is still very, very intense.
You are not handling this well.
Take a seat.
Do you want
Yeah,
to
I
take
think
this
I
for-
want to take a seat. Yes, indeed.
How about this? You'll need to stick with us. But you're gonna have, as
Okay.
long as you're by our side, you'll have the time to think through your choices.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to do any of this immediately. I don't think it's anything that can be done immediately. But you're gonna have to be cautious, you're gonna have to think,
Okay.
take your time with it. If you have any questions, talk to, I guess, any of us aside from maybe Aaron. Though he
I
could probably also
probably
give
know
you some
the
good
most.
advice.
Okay, well, what I've learned in my 19 winters is that you listen to people that know more than you. So, you know, I trust you guys. All right, I will think a bit.
If you want to know anything about it,
Okay, sure.
Empathy check.
I was an agent, so I could probably tell you something. Gosh, Akron just looks perplexed by this reaction.
Haven't seen many a soldier freak out.
It seems pretty green. Like, there is talent here, but very, very green.
He's like trying to judge his emotional state to as whether he's like convicted in the words that he says is that I trust you because you know better, or he's trying to put on some sort of strong words, but just like Medea, they're hidden.
Oh, no, he's very genuine when saying that he wholeheartedly trusts people that are better than him. And it's a little bit worrisome. It's a little bit worrisome for other reasons, you know.
Poor baby.
He probably has a negative composure score. If you say it like that.
Acheron will walk over to Dennis and will get. It's like a very awkward. Acheron just looks so perplexed by this reaction to this, like not in a like I'm judging you for freaking out, but more just that they don't seem to understand why this is as detrimental as Dennis is reacting to it as.
Yeah.
And just kind of awkwardly pats, like, it's kind of what, like, Titania or Ginevra has done when Acheron's upset, like, pats them on the shoulder or the back and it's like, there. Acheron tries to be comforting, and it looks very awkward, I would say, probably. There's no emotion on their face, there's just a deadpan there as they pat Dennis's back, and it's
they're like
not very
having an
effective.
existential crisis, so she's like staring off into the distance and like staring at you wide-eyed, like, the church wants me dead? What the fuck?
I've heard people say that it helps to talk about it. If you want.
He looks at you confused, and then there's a little bit of smile that actually creeps on his mouth. You wanna have a deep and meaningful conversation with me?
Acheron looks at Titania like, is this what I want?
I can join you, and I think it is important to have.
Because you're
those
so
conversations.
cool, and I would love that.
It's important to have these conversations about what you want, especially when you're coming up to making a big decision. Like this one, and especially when circumstances have changed so rapidly. We're all kind of in an emotional spot right now. I'm doing my best to keep up a brave face.
Yeah, things weren't
So I
supposed
get
to go this way. Like, we were supposed to be all alive and go to Ravenmore territory and do this interview and stuff.
You know they
Yeah,
were
they
gonna
really
kill
weren't
us
supposed to go this way, and
when
now it's...
they were done, right?
Wait, is this... Wait, the church wants to kill me because I failed. Is this all my fault?
Okay.
Have I done something wrong?
Definitely not. Fault.
Acheron, you know more about the church's policy with sacred arms in relation to agents than I do. Would you care to inform us?
So, it's reasonable to assume that most of the sacred... First of all, the sacred arms agents were never supposed to know what they ended up knowing. Yes, that's reasonable to assume. Bexxy?
True. I mean, it depends upon how the mission goes, but it was highly likely they would be killed like the
Yeah.
soldiers with you, but it wasn't...
It wasn't guaranteed,
Guaranteed,
but it was.
yeah,
But,
but it was
I
likely.
would say the turning point happened when Aaron ended up not being a demon or a devil, and we ended up like being really vocal. I would say that's probably the turning point. Is where that's where Acheron would put like the "oh yeah, you're fucked" kind of like turning point right there. Acheron will
Can I use the microphone?
take like a couple moments. It's clear they're not just like ignoring you. Like I think everyone can see that they're. I mean, especially people that have traveled with Acheron enough know that this is like Acheron's pattern. They like take a couple seconds to like think about their words and stuff. Dennis, there was nothing you could have done to prevent the things that happened, and none of this is your fault, as you ended up committed to a group you never truly were meant to understand. Basically, Sacred Arms and the agents work in parallel, but you are, in most cases, in our eyes the same as civilians. You are not supposed to know anything. And we have, in most territories, open orders to eliminate anyone who finds out that which they should not. Sometimes you need express permission, but where you're from, you don't. It is pretty open, closed. Should you find out something you shouldn't know, or is a threat to church security, your death is a requirement, not an option. There was a chance at the start of this all that you may have walked out of this alive, but I would say that the minute Aaron didn't die in that inn, us and you and Allie and anyone else who was not an agent was effectively dead already. They are probably going to bring us back to Ainur and kill you there. Send a letter to your family saying that you met with an unfortunate accident on the road. Something noble, maybe. Killed by something protecting others, or just that you died in an unfortunate attack. No questions would be asked, and if they were, those people would disappear as well.
Like, during this whole thing, you know, he's still having this existential crisis, looks at you, clear emotions playing on his face, like an open book of, like, terror, to confusion, to shock, to worry.
This is the church that you joined. I'm sorry.
But why?
For the glory of Rion.
Oh, wait, I think... Right, Captain said something about this. Yes, right, this is about doing hard things for the greater good. This protecting the church from ourselves. Oh, geez.
Yeah, and I haven't even told you about the child torture yet, so...
What?
We can have that conversation eventually.
He doesn't look
Colonel.
ready.
No, Akron definitely said
Say
that
that
just
later.
like that was definitely a
But,
moment of
you
Akron
know-
like lashing out.
Ma raised me to be a strong young lad and try to do something heroic and meaningful with my life. And if that means keeping out of the way and living up my days away from the church and everything horrible that I've learned, then I shall make my mama proud.
It's for me.
You know what?
Good
I
for
think
you,
that I
Dennis.
think that got Akron. I think that's the thing that gets Akron in the end. I think that's the point where Akron's like, okay, I need to go have a mental breakdown one moment. Like, doesn't say it, but just kind of like looks at Dennis and like it's the full body freeze. Similar to the time we found that bird in the forest, you know, like the body of the fire. It's just that, like, that was the last straw.
Immediately notices this and like just kind of picks you up and says, "Give us just a second, Dennis." And is like, "Let's go get you into the tent."
Did I say anything? I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Don't worry, Dennis.
Okay, I will
Just take a moment and
eat some breakfast.
Titania
you'll
gives
feel a
Akron a
lot
hug
better
and
after
says,
you've eaten.
"Go get like an extra hour of sleep. Let me know if you need anything."
Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
Oh, that was an Akron, but okay, Dennis, you too, buddy.
I need it. I need it so much.
I take a nap right here. Insert that one line. Before Akron goes to bed, I know that if you want to do some Bogdana, I see Aaron standing over, just like hovering by Bogdana. Akron is gonna go ask if she knows anything about curing poison.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if she has any antidotes on her.
Okay, first of all, Aaron approach, right?
Yeah.
No. Aaron just like could not deal with this soldier being the way he is, so he stepped away a little bit.
I see.
And he was like giving like the side eye to Bogdana, like, you know, God.
Yeah,
Humans are doomed kind of thing.
She responds, God, this guy. Alright, then the Geneva steps up and makes conversation as she is smoking her pipe.
Would you happen to carry any... I've now forgotten the word. What are they called?
Antidote?
Antidotes. I kept thinking antibodies, antigens, antidotes.
Antioxidants.
Something anti.
Got any blueberries?
Oh, the anti. And up the anti.
Antidotes.
Hmm.
I got
Now,
some
Before
why?
Corona.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I guess the COVID antidotes.
That hit me differently.
Got any of them?
Hey homie, hey homie, you got that good shit? You peddling the cure for the coronavirus?
The
Got a
dankest.
little mushroom sack.
Opens her coat and there's
Well, I got some ivermectin with me.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh, how much are they going for?
Oh, I don't
No.
even.
No,
You into horse tranks?
Before my horse.
Did you see the horse?
Oh god, Huey, don't hurt my mic. It's
This
very-
meme brought to you by
That's not my
America.
fault.
How dare you. No, she says, she smokes heavily, like takes one, like, in-break, exhales, there's like a herbal kind of cocktail that fills the air around her. Corona, you say?
I can tell you what's in it if that would help.
Well, I know the basics of it. It's that pesky flower cocktail that ends up in the honey. Isn't it, intensified by the very, industrious, workings of the bees? Native to Crow Hill, no?
Yep, and used by the agents to kill people.
Oh, I've heard rumors of it. It's not
very
really
real.
common in these parts. And that's some heavy stuff that should have created some internal damage, mayhaps. Well, I could help with some poultices and stave off the symptoms of it, but healing it, well, that's another thing entirely.
It was worth a shot.
Alright. Thank you.
It won't kill me.
Well,
Just
let
be
me take a
really
look at you, girl,
inconvenient.
first of all. Come here.
Akron will just step up and like do the like this thing to like show off the stab wound and be like, here you go. Do whatever you want. Kind of the, you know, if the doctor's officer just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, Bogdana kind of press on the wound and like look in your eyes, takes your pulse, like a lot of that kind of stuff, and then eventually says, would you pee for me?
Like, right here?
Well, but in whatever way you would like.
Akron looks at the others expecting them to leave.
Yeah, it's
You want
Tanya
all
will
of
go
us to
about
leave? So you can pee in the middle of the camp?
I mean, no, that's fair. Akron will just grab, like, well, I guess, like, look at them being like, I fucking hate my life. And then we'll look at Bogdana and be like, will this help you cure me, or is this for your own amusement?
Yes, I'd like to drink pee at the end of the day. No, this is not for my own amusement. This is for me to find out what's going on with you. Why do you think I would ask for your pee?
Akron will take her, I guess, and like, fuck it. I don't know. Akron wants to live more than they have dignity, so why not? Akron will go somewhere else and fuck it. I don't know.
Okay, bears, I'm back.
Sure.
Make a utensil to catch it.
Living is really nifty, and Acheron definitely wants to be doing that right now. Said like someone who wants to live.
Well, Bogdana takes a look at the pee, the smell, the consistency.
Not
She
what I was
even tastes
expecting.
it.
Jesus fuck.
And now we'll roll a check.
Acheron's just
Okay.
like, I wish suddenly Acheron's like, maybe this poison should have killed me.
All right.
Eyes of embarrassment.
Well, you obviously have major
Doing Osprey's mug.
problems with your liver. That's for sure.
Told you that.
It's going to internally make you weak. Yes, and I wouldn't go around imbibing more poison or poisonous substances in the future.
Damn, there goes my weekly poison swallowing tournament. Whatever will I do?
Hmm.
Go snuggle up with a bottle of
Yes,
Speaking of
indeed.
poison, what did you give me?
Oh, you did not end up using it?
Slavic.
I did. One of them.
Oh, well, that was good. It's not easy to come by those and
True.
purifying them. It's not easy to
What
walk
is it?
around with it either. Well, 1 second as I go through my list as I try to remember.
She's just like scrolling. It's like a little like spiral. Just like, ah shit, where is it?
Yeah. My memory ain't what
Notepad.
it used to be.
Can you teach me how to make it?
God, what was it again? Uh,
Good drink is good.
can we jump over to somebody else and quickly go through this list? I just can't remember which one it is.
Do we still need to sleep in order to get our long
Yeah, do you
rest
go back to bed?
benefits?
Well, we're not going anywhere
You need
today.
to go back to bed for a few more hours to complete that long rest, indeed.
Yeah, okay.
I guess we should probably go set things back up and get some rest.
Some Z's.
Time to get
roll
my
probably.
new premonition roll, so maybe they'll be better than a 10 finally. See, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Ooh,
Yes,
spicy.
Hell yeah.
Y'all ever need anything, just ask.
And then this day we don't do anything.
I mean, yeah, that's what's happening. Of course. Like, the plan is that we rest today.
It was
And then,
it
of
was
course,
monk suit or wolfsbane.
Yeah, I opened the kitchen.
Oh, I already know how to make that. Never mind then, bug that. I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it specifically grows in the mountains, so.
Ooh, does she have? Actually, Akra will be like, oh, do you know where I could get some, or do you have any, or whatever?
Well, you better go on a treasure trove hunting.
I've made poor financial decisions.
I just happened to find them on my way as I made my way south and within the mountains. I thought, oh, well, this could be useful. With poisoning my foolish apprentice.
Is that just the answer?
How would
Sorry.
you poison your apprentice? That doesn't seem very conducive to a good work environment.
Oh shit, my mom
Stop
died.
bullshitting me.
No, I'm genuinely curious. Why would you poison your
I've already
apprentice?
told you.
Apprentice stole from her.
Oh,
Took all her
right.
shit and ran off.
Yeah, her apprentices, what's
She
her face,
took
Ravenmore.
what I taught her and completely
I-
debased it, disrespected
yes.
me, and now was trying to start a war.
Wouldn't torturing her be better then, for revenge?
Well, I don't really have that
Was it
in
effective
me.
with her?
I can do it for you.
She just needs to be taken care of, that's all. But ultimately, the fault is mine. I should have realized what kind of person she was when I picked her up. I thought that her ambition would temper as she got older, but I was
That
wrong.
was a stupid assumption.
It can happen.
Yes, well, rub salt in the wounds, will ya?
I'm just saying, most people's ambitions only grow. The only way to truly stamp out someone's ambitions is to crush them entirely.
Or redirect them.
Which one of us had this job?
What do you
That's
mean?
what I...
That's a very bleak way of looking at things, but alright.
A
You
very
do
bleak
you.
person.
Evidently so. I mean, haven't you realized now that you are properly within the single market? That ought to cheer you up. Still young. She elbows.
See how Acheron responds to
She elbows you in the side and like gives off like a
smiling.
really dry chuckle and like, I'm only joking. Take it easy. You don't need to be so intense all the time.
You know, in the interest of entertaining your proposition, I don't really think I am what most people would consider romantic material. Like our gestures to all of them.
I think you're selling yourself short, but... Huh? Sorry. I just
Thank
came
you
out of
for
me.
your I think I'm going to go sleep now. You have a good day.
That would be best, I think.
Yep. Everyone's gotta just go and go to the
So
tent
you
with
go.
Titania.
So great.
And as Sakura lays down in the tent with Titania, if Titania is still awake at this point, we'll just like flop
good?
down and we'll be like. Everyone looks more like thoroughly done with the day than like, you know, just like so tired you don't even have emotions at this point. And we'll, with a very dry kind of like burnt out. With the kind of humor that only exists when you're so burnt out, you're just like, no, will be. Bogdana has reminded me that I am back on the market and thinks I am romantic material.
He's a sharp-tongued one, I guess. Daniel will give you another hug and just say, everything's gonna be alright.
We are so fucked.
Aren't we always? How many times have we said that over the last 2 weeks? I feel like we say it at least 3 times a night.
We ever not fucked?
That's true.
Remember earlier when I said this was the worst job you've ever taken?
I 100% agree with that. Yes, I do remember.
This is the worst job you have ever taken.
You
And we are
need
never
not
going
remind
back
me.
to Old Wood ever again.
Fair. Hopefully once we've tackled these Raven Moors, we never will have to.
Ron just sighs and goes go to sleep.
I'm sorry.
I hope your family's gonna be okay.
One can only hope.
Hey, next town we're in, we might be able to send letters to warn people on that list you made, now that we're not being watched.
A good thought.
It's not a high
I-
chance they'll arrive, but we might save at least someone.
I actually might have a carrier raven of my own soon enough, and Titania will kind of begin nerding out about how she'd been working on the Find Familiar spell, and be like, so this is what we were talking about with Donna and Aaron earlier. It was the Familiar is a type of magical creature which you summon for the sake of...
And Titania's
service.
mumbo jumbo eventually comforts
Yeah, I was
you
gonna say.
and lulls you to sleep. Alright, is Aaron and Ginevra do anything else? No, Ginevra's in bed, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ginevra's gone in a tent.
Aaron won't join Ginevra in the tent, given
Yep.
it's sort of daylight-ish. It's like early dawn. He'll sit on the log there and ponder about the events of what happened the night before and summon the sword in his hand with the sword blade pointed down. So he's basically sitting there and just pondering, and as he summons it, it's like basically just holding there with the hilt, and he stares into the gemstone.
You
Thinking to
do,
himself.
you do need a nap, you're saying, to complete that long rest. But
Sure, but it's also like a long rest is like low activity as well. I suppose. I mean, it doesn't have to be like like he can just sit there,
fair.
like propped
if you
up with his sword.
don't go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight, I will say that you're susceptible to exhaustion, and we shall move on. Makes sense. What you say? Yes. Looking at the gem. Make me a presence check.
A what check?
A presence
Present.
check.
Come on. Come on. Come on, you can do it.
You look into the deep blue matrix of the crystal, and you watch the gentle swimming of that white kind of energy that is like has a long tail within. Oh!
Oh, okay.
Hello.
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 Hello there.
Oh no. General Kenobi! As you kind of get lost a little bit in it, a little bit hypnotized, that swirling energy eventually pushes against the confines of the crystal in a specific direction, which is east.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's currently find a stable.
Given Aaron's knowledge of like this, I guess, area, could he surmise like that could potentially be pointing towards the castle?
Oh yeah, for sure. The castle is pretty much east. Adult.
We're happy to see you.
And then I will take that as basically a compass.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
And I will curiously continue watching it.
Kind of goes back to like swimming randomly, but eventually from time to time it like settles in the eastern corner and like pushes in that direction.
I shake it like it's a magic
Snow
8 ball.
globe.
Yeah, a magic 8 ball. Like, tell me another answer. Will I find the gem tomorrow? That doesn't look good.
You take 3 psychic damage.
I just like also try and steady myself and basically what has happened in the crypt and try and put 2 and 2 together. After all, it's where he slept, so yeah, he just takes some time for himself.
Okay.
I'll wait for the others to... Oh, actually, because Zelia's here. Yeah, I will go over and do some heckin' brushing, because I haven't heckin' brushed for a while.
Brush.
Brush.
All right, and we shall go for a short break.
Brush.
I come back and after the nap and do some traveling, I think. Woo!
Onwards, explorers.
So refill your glasses, empty your bladders, get some snacks, pet your dogs and your loved ones, and come back happy. Yes. All right.
And horses. Watch your horses.
Very much important. I'll be right back, Chad. I'm just gonna say Asheville and Jamie and JJ, welcome. I hope you're having a good time, and I hope to entertain you tonight, indeed. I'll be right back.
Burb.
Alright, I'm back. This is a wonderful time, chat. If you have any direct comments or questions that you want to particularly make me see. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to keep track on chat and answer when I am actively GMing. Indeed. I hope you're having a good time.
What?
My microphone hates me, and I'm retiring from life.
Try. That looks.
Your microphone? What?
I complimented you twice because I was muted the first time, and I tried to do it again and didn't realize my mic didn't unmute. You do a great job. That's why.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It was a great story.
I do try my best.
We have to go find a meme real fast, though.
What?
Gonna...
Holy shit! Adrian! What are you doing?
What has Adrian done now?
You had given away 66 subscriptions? That's crazy! Gave it to Jamie, Xagi, Weewoo, Cyborg, Hovershot, Sage Shifter, Silent, Crest DM, Woodgod, and Pixie. Oh my god. Random rules question, if you upcast a
Yeah,
spell...
get that depression monkey out of here.
Thank you so much, Adrian. Hammerside is always the level that you cast a spell at, which matters. I think that's like everyone, not already some. No. I think it's a little bit... I got like 500 followers. I do not have 500 subscriptions.
Yet.
Oy, oy, oy.
People from there.
It's a lofty goal.
I don't think I've ever.
Meme in the Discord. Agents return chat. If anyone wants to...
Ooh. By the way, some trivia. I'm going to Midsummer celebrations tomorrow at my dad's.
Ooh.
Yes. Time to eat fish, drink aquavit, and sing silly songs. Yeah.
Midsummer!
It makes it officially over a year that we've known each other.
Smoke road and air for life.
At least you're not.
I'm
I can't
sad
believe
though.
it's been over a year.
Damn. That's true. Holy shit, time flies.
For real, for real.
I'm headed to Midsummer celebrations too. Awesome. Midsummer's great. I'm sad though because I opened the restaurant on Saturday morning, so can't really let loose. Only working 9 till 11 though, because I'm the only one who can open. It's gonna be good though. Very good. What are you gonna do, Hema? Any specific plans? I
Gonna
just
shoot
heard
some wolves.
some vague talks about some games. Hopefully the forest fire warning doesn't spread to my region so we can use the outdoor fire pit. Oh.
And make your own forest fire.
Only you can
blackjack.
create forest fires.
And knowing's half the battle.
Oh, the summer cottage. Nice. Nice, nice. Thankfully it's been raining a little bit here, so no forest fires currently at least. Very nice.
It's been
What you
so
eating,
hot here.
Aspen?
I have gay Skittles.
Nice.
Because we love it when
Skittles?
companies donate their rainbow, to show the support of LGBT people when they don't support us all other times of the year.
So you said gay Skittles, but aren't they
Yeah,
always?
they're
They're
rainbow.
always. They're always rainbow.
No, so Skittles
So they
donates
go
its
great.
rainbow.
Oh, as
they-
in of
they
the
make
LGBTQ
colorless.
flag.
No, they're
That's-
colorless.
that's
So the thing
fantastic.
is,
Oh, they're
What a
colorless.
great idea.
at least in America, I don't know how worldwide Skittles are. But they have a thing. I don't know if you can read it. It says we're giving up our rainbow so that the LGBTQ plus artists can share theirs, and they have a code that you can scan. It like links to like an artist page. But this happened a couple years ago. Every Pride Month, Skittles doesn't make Skittles that have the rainbow colors because they donate
That's
their rainbow.
I mean, it's a smart business venture because they have to spend money on coloring.
They donate their rainbows so that they can pretend to like queer people and then discriminate against them all the rest of the year. But
Do you know
While
what?
saving money.
Do you
for
know
Pride
what
Month,
Burger King did for Pride Month?
what?
They had like a ad out of like be a rebel, and then there's 2 pictures of hamburgers. 2 had 2 buns that were top buns, and 1 hamburger had 2 buns that were lower buns.
What the heck? That is.
Wow,
curious.
so
This
rebellious.
is the representation we want. Yes, this is.
Someone's a top. Yeah.
I feel so appreciated as a queer person. Fuck my rights. I want Burger King to recognize this like that. Rights, who needs them?
Check out them buns. Yeah.
Protections? Fuck it. Burger King is where it's at. Who wants to live when you have Burger King repping you?
Medical support for my transition.
Fucking kill me.
Who needs
Burger
it?
King.
Fucking
Let's
kill me.
go.
Okay, let's not deal more psychic damage to ourselves and deal psychic damage to our characters instead by continuing roleplaying.
Oh yeah, I need to. Which reminds me, I need to tell everyone about what I know about that rock now that I'm not dead.
Oh,
Alright.
yeah.
Wow. Well, one after the other, you know that kind of nap where you wake up more tired than you started in. Yeah, that's kind of the deal for those who went to sleep. But one after the other,
Every
You-
nap.
you zombie yourself out of the tents to like the central fire pit.
Everyone just sits down with like a heavy groan.
Aaron is like, I gotta be okay. No, okay. I thought
No,
Aaron was
it's
gonna
just-
be lonely boy.
No.
Cozy on up. To Bogdana.
How you doing?
Oh my god.
Hey.
I got
Hey,
a
girl,
lot
hey.
of experience.
Not as much as me.
Probably the closest to his age.
I was about to say.
It depends how old's Bogdana. We don't know.
It's a good question. She's probably above 60 at least.
Younger.
So, do we have any idea what the plan is going forward as we move into the Ravenmoor territory?
Don't.
Isn't the plan
We're gonna keep
to
going.
find the
How the
artifact?
fuck are we going to? Okay. I hate being the logical one here, but since it's clearly needed, how do we plan to get into the castle now that our escorts and our way in is, dead?
That's exactly what I was thinking. We're gonna need an alternate way in since we don't have an.
I would say we
interview
could
access
sneak in,
anymore.
but looks at Aaron. Says nothing, just looks at Aaron and just nods.
Oh, you mean this? And he does disguise self.
No, it's more that I think if your life depended on you being sneaky, you'd be dead,
What makes you think that?
and it would. There's been at least one moment, hasn't there, when Aaron wasn't sneaky? I feel like I distinctly remember that.
Yeah, but isn't it because of the
We
armor?
haven't done a.
Yeah, I mean the armor itself is a little noisy, yeah, but not
I mean,
because
that's
he's sneaky.
no. I just thought there had been like one moment, and in that moment, Acheron decided Aaron does not know how to be sneaky. So it's
You
more
know,
of like a character perception
that's
than
fair.
like an actual
That's
truth.
not on me. That's on Acheron. So Carry
No, yeah, just clarifying. This is not me as a player being like, unsneaky, how dare you. This is Akron being like, I have made a misjudgment of you on, like, me on purpose, but Akron's
I don't think I've ever
snooked.
snooked it with you before.
I thought you did. I swear you
You
did.
snook
Sure we
with
ever had to
Silas.
sneak.
Or you
But it
snook
was
with
before that. I mean,
Meulen.
we have had a lot of. We have 30 episodes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what any time that Aaron has tried to sneak and he hasn't. We
Maybe
did one
Akron-
sort of like.
Oh no, it's because your armor is noisy, and it's been described many times. So Akron's like, unsneaky.
It
There you
is.
go, yeah.
As in, not the quietest, but he's still.
I'm still
fairly
keeping
nimble.
it that Akron's just made a bad assumption about you. For
You
character
appropriating
reasons.
my sneaking?
Yes. I mean, or at least I've never seen you be sneaky. Can you be sneaky when that gestures to Aaron's armor makes so much noise?
The time comes for it. I can take it off as long as you help me with this buckle.
Is that safe for you?
There are multiple ways to be sneaky. You can try hiding in plain sight if you have that magic.
Indeed. After all, if I can look like not me, isn't that the best way for subversion?
Didn't we make assumptions that they have ways to tell through magic if they
It's
can
a
use
way.
it themselves?
Maybe. Or we can't let all of those possibilities prevent us. I mean, if it comes down to sneaking, who's to say there's not alarms set up? Who's to say that there's not magical spells to detect that you're there? There's 1,000 things that could be preventing us from doing any sort of plan.
Perhaps it would be better then for us to continue our travels and build a plan once we have more information about the wherever the Ravenmoors are storing the artifact.
Well, whilst you were sleeping, I came up with, a revelation. I think I know where it is. Or at least I know the direction and where it is.
You tell.
And as we're sitting around the fire, he once again just like reaches out his hands, and the sword apparates out of mists, and he clutches hold of that hilt with the sword pointed downwards towards the ground. And he says, "Turns out this gem itself knows where its counterpart is."
Dennis gasps.
That's not spooky.
Some sort of arcane connection between these sibling stones.
Maybe there's some weird entity within this gem that seems to at least point its direction. At least that's what I'm assuming. I
So it
can't say
acts
for
like a
sure.
compass.
This is the.
I mean, Bogdana also knew of a place in her travels around the castle, I believe, unless I'm misquoting here, where none of the rats would go. And I assume that's...
Indeed,
Yeah.
there's something quite secretive in the bowels of Castle Alderholt.
Can we
But
take
This is the first
Just a
time I've
second.
heard about any, like, this is a sword that just appears out of nowhere. And it has a
Yes,
sister
that's right.
stone. This is the first time I've heard of this. But this is all
You're
new.
not You're not exactly one of us. I don't know why you're surprised.
Well, I'm surprised that you had more secrets than what's apparent on the surface. Didn't think you were that complicated, but you know, even I can be wrong.
Yeah, I think that's just like a even Acheron cracks a smile at that one.
Sorry, what were you trying to say, Akron?
Can we take a second to just to use a word you love so much, analyze why we're actually doing this and just lay it out so that we all know what our actual motivations are. Why are we risking our lives for this still, now that we're not obligated to?
Because if we don't, they will bring the Stormlord through, and he will cause havoc.
So that's your reasoning, is to be a hero.
Not to be a hero, to avoid havoc-seeking gods, devils entering.
Don't you
which I
also
would
want to
imagine
bring
is...
a god into this world, though?
We're aware of the room.
Bogdana raises an eyebrow.
Yeah,
I am interested.
but it's not just my reason. I imagine that's one, as someone who seems so loathing of the god, and being similar, that would be enough of a reason for you to not want it to be in their hands. Because if they come in, it's not going to be kept to here, it's going to go everywhere. So it's better we stop it than try and deal with it when it's already here and it's too late.
So I'm interested in stopping a war that would be inevitable if the Ravenmoors continue on their current path, given the information we have from the Queen and her informants. And I'm also interested in learning more about gods outside of Rion and the magic of these artifacts and how they are related. Because this is the best lead I have found in, goodness, 7 years of research.
Mm-hmm. Look at Aaron.
Despite the bargain that I've had to make to save our lives, I too wish to discover more about what these artifacts mean and what that fiery barrier is and why I can no longer feel my deity. I have my thoughts, but it's like I'm trapped here. You don't have to join us, Akron, if you don't feel like you have any stake in this matter. No one's forcing you to walk with us on a quest to deal with gods that you first kind of never believed in and then now despise greatly.
It's not about the gods, though. Akron looks at the three of them. More so explicitly to Tawny and Aaron, which is funny for like both sides, but I made you a promise. I'm not here for them, I'm here for you.
Maybe you'll find a reason for you along the way then.
I do have a reason for me. To help you. You guys can be my reason. Do I need a better reason than a family?
No, you don't. Thank you, Acheron. He gives you a little hug. You've always been the good voice of reason that we need. Even if said reason can be, discouraging at times. Sometimes we need to bring ambitions down a little.
I don't think it's... All of you are correct in what you said about what's going to happen. I just wanted to clearly... I wanted everyone to be honest for once about what we're actually doing. It's easier to achieve things safer if we actually know where we're going and why.
Hi.
How about you, Dennis? Have you made your decision?
Well, I for one would like to keep on living for a little bit longer, and I made my resolutions yesterday that if I'm going to find a way to be heroic in some way to make my family proud, and if that's staying out of the way of the church, then that's what I would do.
Donna wants to fix her fuck up.
Well, yes.
Are you coming along with us, Bogdana?
I am quite sure that I won't be welcome at the castle. But I will
I don't think
try
any of us will.
Well, you were traveling there for a reason to begin with, weren't you?
Yes, but our invitation was through the mouth of a man who is now dead. So
Can
we're in a
you
bit of a tough spot.
bullshit your way through?
Aaron,
was
how
actually
good
proposed-
at lying are you? Sorry, go
He's
ahead.
terrible.
I was
He never
actually
says
Whoa.
this.
They assume his deception ranks as well.
No, I've I've had plenty of
We're making
experience.
so many assumptions today.
He's not that kind of guy, unfortunately, for this situation. I mean, I'm still a representative of the church. It would help if I had some form of formal seal or thing.
documentation of some kind.
Yeah, so that they know they're dealing with an actual.
Well, what
I mean,
do
I obviously
you
have the mark, but
But
I
do
have
you
my
have?
mark. We have the belongings of some of the belongings of the people we were with, but
Mm-hmm.
We
that's
could.
about it.
It might be imperative for us to have a cover story of they were attacked by bandits and Dennis
Yeah,
was the
easy.
only one who survived.
Easily, we were.
And it's taking out agents of the church. That's super believable.
I mean, those people that came up to us before Bogdana met us were pretty hefty looking. I think that they believe it's not just one group of random bandits. This place is full of roving bands of people looking to kill and steal. So I think
There
it's
is also a running slave trade, so it's not entirely.
I think it's fairly
unreasonable to
believable that
assume.
we would have lost some of our party before we got there.
If they haven't changed anything, I might be able to forge something at least slightly believable.
I also, for the sake of brevity, you still have the seal of the queen.
The queen who they hate.
Yeah, I don't think that's the reason we're going to be going there.
Yeah,
No,
Kinda
I
look
mean,
at that,
you
guys.
can
it's a fair
certainly
point, but also
you can certainly try.
Oh,
The
actually,
queen's husband
I have an
was
idea.
able to gain, an audience, but then he died. From what? Who
Or-
knows? But he was still able to talk to them.
What if?
Also, you have a heavy bag with nothing in it.
A mini bag of holding.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Wait, quick.
Oh.
I was in there's stuff in it. We haven't poured it out yet.
Oh yeah.
I mean-
Indeed.
Akron doesn't understand magic. I mean, everyone. Tatani does know it's a magic bag because Akron's arm did go like all the way in it. But
Yeah. Would Titania know about the folding a bag of holding inside out? That little trick? Is that reasonable to assume? I have a plus 11 to occult.
You are
I
pretty
mean-
smart.
Yeah, I mean, spending some time with it, like if you spend some time,
Mhm.
indeed, with it, like a short rest,
What would you-
you would
well,
be able to
you know.
try it out.
that's happening. We're talking about it. Akron would suggest, or if we don't want to do the agent story, we could do the show the seal of the queen and then offer to trade information. Sell the queen out, might gain us an audience.
It's a beautiful place.
Have we talked about not actually going back?
But
As
that
in
would
where
be
I
a
go
bummer.
afterwards.
To the queen?
Yeah, as in surviving here.
It's gonna be really rough.
I don't think that's something that we can really plan for at this point, Akron.
Just thought.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
I-
of thoughts and plans. Sorry, what were you gonna say? I don't want to change
I was
subject.
going to say, surely if we need some sort of collateral, Meulen must have had something on him.
If we need some sort of collateral, trust me, I have more than enough information on Irene to give someone a political advantage in that arena.
That's if they believe you, but I mean something tangible. Didn't he have anything on his person to
Not that
allow
I
him
found.
Why would an agent have something on there? I mean, he had the bag. But, like, it's just a bag.
Titania's
It's a
like kind
weird
of
bag.
messing with it and playing with it and putting her arm in and out.
So Titania doesn't know how it works at all. Or she just doesn't know that-
Titania's trying to analyze it, trying to get a
Okay.
feeling for how it works. And maybe, actually, she can cast Identify.
She
Will,
did
never
cast
mind. That's
Identify,
what she's going
right?
to do.
Well, with Identify, you would get the information that if you want to, like, you need to conjure up the idea of the item when you put down your hand into it to pick it up. But if you don't know what's in it, you can turn it inside out to find out all of its contents.
Yeah, Titania's just gonna go over to some open like over here, and it's
Tip
gonna.
that shit out.
Careful.
Bombs exploding.
I was gonna say, this is an agent bag. Please be careful.
That's why she took a few steps back.
You have mage hand?
So that only I get blown up.
Inside out. Let's go.
Alright. What tumbles out of this bag is Titania's alchemy kit.
Yeah, my alchemy kit's back.
Acheron's poison kit.
Hey, fuck.
And I think it's like at least one carrot poison in there, right?
Yeah, there was one of the carrot poisons, and I think they took my apple seeds, so I couldn't make cyanide gas.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can do that now. Cyanide gas. Guys, I have our way in.
And if there's anything else they took without them giving it back to you, it would be here in this pile. There's also more paper, more writing equipment. There's also a seal of the church and a few documents.
There we go.
Nice.
And it's like a special seal, like this kind of like urgent, do not pay postage, just get this here now kind of deal.
I
them
just do.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah, Titania will kind of take everything at hand, Acheron, their poisons kit, pack up her alchemy supplies again, and then start rifling through the documents.
Acheron will, assuming that the documents might be encoded, Acheron will stay nearby to decode them potentially.
Okay.
Agent speak TM.
Well, basically, what you find there is like safe passage within Allwood, safe passage to the border to Margrave and to Ainur. There's also indeed a letter strengthening and confirming the identity of whoever holds this letter has been promised an interview with the Ravenmoors, and these are their names, la-di-da-di-da.
Yeah, there we
Shit.
go.
But our names aren't on it. But you can add our names.
Our names on it?
Well, Titania's name is there. And of course, Miron's agent name, Medea, Silas, Osprey's, Osprey as written as Osprey.
Gotcha.
And Titania and Acheron's name is there as well. And there's also like an asterisk at the bottom, and whoever they might employ in their service who would be deemed trustworthy enough for the sensitivity of this meeting.
Alrighty.
Oh,
We'll just
perfect.
continue with the mission.
Okay, well then, now I'm gonna be like, speaking of the mission and the rock we found on Osprey, I know where
It's
it
a
comes
soul
from.
gem, right? You know where it comes from.
Fuck me if I know, I just know where it comes from.
How do you know where it comes from?
Because I've seen them before. Because it comes from where I grew up.
Oh, like originally.
It's actually how I met Irene. Believe it or not. There was a mine collapse. Pretty bad one, my youth. Not that there weren't many, but this one was different. it revealed some kind of previously closed off part of the mines, and inside was this weird crystal. So what do? We call the church. And who shows up but the Cardinal Irene herself? During which she, of course, investigated. I obviously was not very invested in finding out what the fuck the crystal was. I was more busy with my pursuits, which landed me handpicked by Irene. It was taken with her when she left, and I never found out much more about it, but that's the crystal that was in there. There was a lot more of it, though. A lot more of it.
I have seen these in the past used for the storing of souls when the students of the Falcon program didn't have souls in their own soul marks but still needed access to them.
Oh, that's disturbing.
This was a storage mechanism.
Great.
A sort of gemstone conducive to the storage of souls? I'll definitely take more time to think about this.
I wish I could tell you more. I was sort of busy.
No, it's actually
Irene
very
was
helpful and
around.
informative to know that there are places, at least in Crowhill, that would have these. It explains why the center of the it explains perhaps one reason why the center of the church's power might be there.
I mean,
Due
it
to them
was...
having access to more magic, or more storage of magic.
Bexxy, remind me the name of the mountain town that this was nearby? If you remember. If not, I can look it up.
No. Isn't it like Silver Fort or something like that?
It was high something, I think.
Highmont.
Let me look. Was it Highmont?
Highmont?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Agro will say it's one of the mining towns near Highmont. Sort of towards the mountain.
Yeah, Highmont for sure.
Just suddenly wake up to the
It was
reality.
in the earth, so I don't know if it's necessarily natural. I guess. It was hidden well enough that it took, I suppose, a really bad... The collapse was pretty bad. It opened up a lot of previously hidden passages. Hidden isn't closed off, not like... I mean, who could say if that was intentional now that I know that... Not the gods are real, who can say what's intentional and what isn't. So, but... As far as I was aware, there's a lot more of it.
Would Tanya, with all of her research and digging up artifacts and that sort of business, know if these if this type of gemstone has a name, and B, if it's naturally occurring?
Ooh.
Might be a big question. We can come back to it.
I mean, naturally occurring, like, you only know what they do. I don't think you've ever... That's kind of like deep lore, if that makes sense, of Frostmark. As for the name, I mean, I think they were referred to as, like, soul gems when you came across it. But that's very, I don't know, descriptive. They might have another name that you...
It's not like a scientific crystal name.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's like something you name it when you don't have a better word for it, if that makes sense.
Would Acheron have been able to make assumptions whether or not this was more natural or not? Does it look like other, like, when it was in the, like, did it grow in veins or did it grow out of the earth?
I mean, yeah, you spend time with it. I mean, it did grow like a normal crystal. It's like something in between quartz and diamond, but you've never
There's
seen it
hope.
before,
There's
so
hope, at least.
at least not in the mine that you were in. So, and your mine was normally a gemstone mine, right? I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was either metals or gemstones.
Yeah.
Something similar to that vein of whatever.
Yeah, the Kibaran range is known for gemstones and gold veins. And that's part of the riches of the church because of these mines.
Yeah, because of all those people who
slave away whilst the church gets all the profit. Yeah.
Legal slave labor, we
Yay!
stand.
Woo!
How very capitalist of them.
Feudalistic too.
Agron would have been like, oh, it's usually like a gem mine, blah blah blah. Agron will also say that they weren't really paying much attention to what was in the mines when Irene came. They kind of were focused on ... other endeavors, ones that put them in the path of said cardinal.
Well, it's good information to know, even if it does bring more questions than answers. At least we know what questions to ask now and to look into. So our mission remains the same then for the time being, just a little bit compromised.
Yeah, unless you wanted to go there, which I wouldn't recommend.
Not at present, no.
Well, if we all fine and dandy and re-established our goals, why are we sitting around?
Breakfast.
Akron, how are you feeling? How's the poison?
Well, I'm definitely poisoned, but like I said, it's not going to kill me.
How
You
long
don't
is
need
that
to
gonna
worry.
last?
A month? More?
Is there a time limit of how long we have to deal with it to prevent that having that effect? Is it like, can you do it at any time in that month, or is it after the first week or so? There's nothing you can do to stop the effect.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Bexxy. It's any time as long as the condition's not going away.
No, sadly not. I would have ruled that if you catch it before the incubation is finished, that perhaps you can stop it before it happens if you have something that kills poison effects. But since it's taken hold, you have permanent liver damage. The nausea though will resolve itself in time.
Yeah. Akron will make that clear. Yeah, my organs are fucked, but I'll feel better eventually.
Aaron wants to look over at Titania and say, well, if we're on our way, I wouldn't mind having a private word with you, if that's okay, Titania.
Sure, yeah, as you will.
Yes. The tent's right there. Let's go to the tent. It's a nice tent.
I walk in and see those angry, black letters that you, Coptic runes that you saw inside of the cave. Brings up some memories you would like to forget.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound exceptionally formal or anything.
No need to worry yourself. What did you need?
I just wanted to... Well, I joined up with this group because of you. And I don't regret that.
Oh.
So I wanted to be upfront with you in terms of what happened in that crypt. And maybe you can help me out too.
The more you're willing to share, I'd love to hear.
You still have that hair clip?
I've kept it close by at all times. She reaches into one of the inner pockets of her coat and produces it to show you.
I had thought that holding on to that would mean that I could hold on to a part of where I came from, a former life.
Mm.
I feel different now after the crypt. I feel I gave up something unspoken. In that moment, we were all panicking. We were all trying to find a way out or escape that entity, and I didn't see any other way of getting out alive.
You gave up something in that bargain and you don't know what?
At this point, it's too new. I just have that feeling, you know?
Mm.
I wanted you to hold on to that. Keep it for me. Just in case.
I'll keep it close as long as you need. Hopefully you can figure out whatever is going on with you, not just it's about more than research. You are more deserving of answers about yourself than anybody else, so I'll do my utmost to help you.
I've also noticed that you are able to extract souls in a very efficient manner. And I'm just curious, would you mind loaning me a couple?
Sure, if you need. There's also this soul gem you can make use of if you need.
He starts unwrapping the strapping on his arm slowly.
Wait, there's a
exposing his-
chance that Erin knows what this is.
A soul gem?
Yeah, because that would be something that would be in your... Make me intelligence check. Actually, you
Oh,
might
great.
know the right term. Wow!
Hey, I'm helping.
It's a weird crystal. Does it need another term?
It's a rock. It's a nat one.
No!
It's a weird crystal.
Literally, it is a rock.
Well, you know of it, but
Damn, Sarah.
it was more this is kind of deal, so
It was not really something that... I mean, we might have used it as like a tool, but not necessarily as anything else.
Yeah, during the wars, some of them might have been supplied, but yeah, you didn't really look into it further. Another one of the miracles of the gods.
Exactly. Yeah, it was just that. It was just like, drinking a glass of water. Nobody looks at it as hydrogen and oxygen. It's just water.
Good way of putting it, yeah.
Okay. So he'll begin unstrapping the red leather, like thin strap that's sort of lattice weaved over his forearm and his right hand. And as he continues to do so, you start to see the starting of a mark, a tattoo on the inner part of his forearm. And exposing the entirety of his forearm, you can see this tattoo is that of a very geometric shape with two solid diamonds on both ends and as sort of bookends, and in the middle are these twinned geometric almost, and it's hard to say, it's like a mathematical kind of geometric shape that is it looks like it's mirrored on both sides. Very formulaic, very structured. And as he does so, he says, "You keep that. you might need it. I just feel like with whatever's changed, I can do something a little bit more now. And I just need a little bit of those souls so I can utilize it. Because right now I only have one.
Indeed. Titania will take she'll remove her gloves, first and foremost, which obscure her own soul mark.
If you
And
show me
then-
yours, I will show you mine.
Alone in the
I will
tent, 7 minutes
Well,
of soul
yeah.
mark.
Take your marked hand with one palm on the top and one palm on the top and one palm on the bottom with her twin soul marks above yours. Out of character, how many souls do you want? What do you need? And also, I believe there's a mechanic, like a check surrounding this, Bexxy.
I know.
No.
We've never done this before, so
Never. We've solved your issue.
we need to go through the rules.
So it happens over 10 minutes, and you don't need to check when you do it slowly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just if you get interrupted or disrupted, then you have to do a check. Or if you do it quickly, you have to do a
Gotcha.
check.
Indeed.
Just imagining
Very good,
Tia
Adrian.
just standing here like
Very
this for
good.
10 minutes.
It's a focused meditation.
Yeah, it's like a meditation where
Cute.
you slowly bring out the soul from your soul mark and keeping control of it the whole time, and then the part that's very sensitive and it's like when you relinquish control and Aaron needs to take control. Yeah.
On a pure mechanical level, I have 2 first level souls and 4 second level souls.
Holy crap! Really?
Yes.
We just murdered
been
a
sucking
fuck
them up.
ton of people. like, here's the thing. I don't know why did you guys bring this? Every time Deborah's like, oh, I don't have souls. Why haven't we brought this up as a I guess because there are people watching us. But like, think of it this way. I kill people all the fucking time. If we just continue murdering people brazenly, we'll never run out of souls.
I didn't realize that they could be shared around. I thought it was like you can do partial soul drain and that's what your deal. So
Well, you
It's-
I'm
never.
very-
I don't know. Geneva would know it that she could.
Yeah.
If she
Yeah.
showed like the ropes, she probably would. Because your
Yeah.
soul drain is different from like how she'd been taught. But
Exactly. So I don't know if I would know it was
So
a thing.
it
I
would
mean,
make
I saw
sense-
it happen, but
IRL and in game that you don't know. So
Yeah, and also, like, Titania doesn't know and hasn't been keeping track of everybody's soul levels, so she's like just kind of been taking
Yeah.
what.
See, this
Which
is why
can-
when Acheron's like, hey, we need party honesty, and everyone's like, cool, let's go have secrets.
The
try
ethics
to
of
speak
it
open
are
alright,
with
then
each other.
keep your secrets.
Ethics
Okay,
is
but-
not something that we ever worry about.
No.
you can transfer as many souls that you want during this longer period. During the shorter one is only one. So what is what do you want?
But you can't split souls, right? You can't turn a second level soul potency
Into 2 first
into
levels.
2 first, right? So
Sadly not.
right, so because you kind of need those first levels, it'll have to be a second level. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need the second level, but
It's like
second level.
I
That's
can
fine.
give you a second
Yeah.
level one. I've got more second level ones, so.
Yeah.
fission
it
here
would
is
just be
very
easier.
much harder than fusion, if it's like that.
Sure. Okay, let's do just a single second level soul. I didn't expect. I thought you had just had like 8 first level souls or something.
You should have
No.
talked to Osprey instead. She ran around and took the table scrubs.
Well, it is what it is. You can also fuse fragments if you have fragments of souls.
I have no fragments.
as if Osprey would ever give them up.
Sure.
As soon
so
as a spellcaster dies, there's a chance to like capture some souls, but yeah, you know that ship sailed.
well, that is a rule, but I don't think you've ever acted upon it. But in any case, second level soul, please.
Yes, I've given it to you. I have marked it off on my sheet, and it is yours.
And as the soul mark sort of accepts it, it makes a pulse. It goes boom, as it ripples over the soul mark in a really golden glue. And he begins to wrap up the soul mark once more.
It's been a while since I've done that. Not many. You don't really encounter many other spellcasters in day-to-day basis.
You did it all the time, so I can show you a few more tricks, maybe if we get the time. But
I'm always willing to learn.
well, at least it's not raining. Let's get going.
Let's.
You walk out the tent. After 10 minutes with rosy cheeks.
Anything happened during those 10 minutes? Like, any conversations that were special?
Ask Bogdana if she has any more of that pipe, that sweet, sweet pipe.
Oh my gosh.
No, she wouldn't give
well,
any to Akron, that's for sure.
Akron would offer, because we offered this yesterday when Dennis was like having his crisis, if either of them have any questions about the church, now that we're all buddies, I guess, Akron's the best person to ask.
Well, Dennis at that point would answer that it's better that I don't know.
Yeah.
That's certainly true.
And Bogdana's like, I don't
Smart
care.
answer.
I also give eyes to Akron, like, this is why we don't tell you anything. after that
To be
outburst,
fair,
like, well, you also, like, this is
Damn!
why we don't tell you anything.
Damn.
Liability.
Damn, indeed.
All I
Who
did
is
was
the
put
agent
Ria
here?
Godin. Have you forgotten that everyone thinks that that could be Rian?
We
Well,
know Rion is here.
well,
He's in
I
all
know.
of us.
You have your breakfast. You pack up your bags.
I was genuine about if she was willing to share some of that pipe.
Oh! She would squint her eyes a little bit here, like very suspiciously, and like, are you sure you're able to handle it, sweetie?
Whatever's hardcore.
Worth a try.
She like gives you the pipe to at least try to take like, you know, an inhale.
Hmm.
Ha-
Smells nice.
you say that now, but we shall see. Have you never ever smoked before anything?
Would that be a thing that happens in Ludenzia? Probably. I think she probably has never, and that's the reason why she's doing it now, is that she's curious.
I mean, there probably is some like
Seeing as her
Like,
constitution is absolute shite.
lower
She's probably
class.
never done it.
You know, there's probably some kind of lower class kind of tobacco going around, even in Ludencia, like among
No,
fishermen.
there's no chance that she would be allowed or be stupid enough to have that at that age
Yeah,
when she
let's-
was as weak as she was.
Let's roll a vitality saving throw with disadvantage.
You're really giving me disadvantage on top of the -1. Brutal.
Double that
Never
dice.
about to
Let's
get
go.
fucking lit.
Toke.
Ginevra's just lit right now.
I mean, I'm not even
Come
gonna
out
be
of the
able
tent.
to.
She's all
because
like
I'm just gonna be
bloodshot eyes.
Bogdana's special blend.
Special.
It could have been worse.
You know, you inhale it and you exhale it and you try your hardest, like your whole face turns red and I'm like, I'm not gonna cough. I'm gonna be able to do this, and then you cough.
Background just smiles.
Yeah,
You vomit.
I thought so. I'm going to take that back. I should take the pipe from you.
Oh, did it taste good though?
I mean, sure. It has some overtones of some more like herbal, like sweetness, but then there's also an undertone that's very heavy. It's like a musky kind of funk to it that you're not so sure about.
That's the mushrooms.
She just straight smokes LSD.
Jennifer will thank her genuinely and hand the pipe back, having her curiosity sated.
Oh, okay, but then I guess a little bit surprised that you, out of all people, would be so gracious, but you know, she accepts it.
Remind me to never take you anywhere with drugs.
How am I meant to get better if I don't have practice?
At doing drugs?
Yeah, she's like completely straight faced, like yeah.
No, she's actually right. You know, you gotta practice.
Do you want to do drugs?
The first time I did this, I also coughed, so you know,
Why not?
it's part of life's
Fair enough.
pleasures, really.
Acheron will reach into his pocket and pull out the Valentine note.
Yeah.
At some point.
Ginevra gives her a
Might
wink.
pitch it.
It was drinking, sex, drugs. Like, at least one of them, so you can choose.
Por qué no los all three?
But yeah, but it would
¿Por
be
qué
the
no los
best if you
tres?
did. ¿Por qué no los tres? God, Adrian. Okay, so Adrian and Titania step out of the tent.
Adrian.
Oh,
What? I mean, is Ginevra that
You're just like,
high?
"Hi, guys." I'm not sure I got here.
I don't think that was enough to affect.
Breaking the
Minerva.
fourth wall.
It does make you a little bit
Wall's just
calmer.
gone.
You guys don't know me, but I know all of you.
Just
Big fan.
like one mouthful of the smoke is not enough to make you high, but it does have a slight,
Yeah.
very very slight calming effect. But you step out, Titania, and Aaron, to find a lot of herbal smell in the air.
Acheron's gonna wait for them to get back and then gonna turn deadpan to Titania and go, "Do you know that Ginevra does drugs?"
You know,
Just
I did not
deadpan.
expect that, but somehow I'm not surprised.
Oh,
She
really?
like those hardcore drugs.
Incredible.
That was pretty cool.
Wait, Yui legit searched if you can smoke LSD.
Dude, I just heard.
You can
I
smoke
just heard
anything
that
if you
shit
try hard
freaking
enough.
the shit out of me. I was like, no.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Okay, carry on.
Oh, God. I
It's
was
called
gonna, like-
LSD. I've never heard of it, Titania.
I believe we have a heading. We have something to guide us, and we have a destination.
Yeah, shall we?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Bogdana calls to her ram friend, and she settles onto its back, looking very, very comfortable. And slowly but surely, over the hours, you're gonna start to hate her.
Nothing changed.
You know, that's
Same
fair.
boat then.
You know, that's very fair.
As we walk, I have a question for Aaron. Not like an important one, just like a fun one.
Alright.
So,
Brush.
Let's do that. Let's do that. As you.
well,
By the way, you can also take rations if you want to fill up on rations, because remember now you will be on your.
Oh,
yeah.
There's
Take all them
Snagging
rations.
all
There's
of them.
88 rations in this camp.
I already have tons.
Well, now that we have the bag,
Oh yeah, stuff them in the bag.
I have
I also have saddlebags or
yeah,
Yeah,
we also,
do we just-
Aaron does. We don't have
Do
to.
we just want to put it in the party stuff
we just-
document?
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
all of
You
them.
should
We can
like
carry it on.
you should have an undersection now that is the mini bag of holding. And each rations weigh like half a kilo.
Yeah. Are we taking 44 kilos of rations?
Well, since we can store 100 kilos in a bag.
Do you want to starve in the forest?
No, I was a genuine question.
No, it's good to
we
have.
should.
Whether we're gonna bother taking all of them or just
Yeah,
take
it's a good
some
idea.
for the amount of weight.
Yeah.
There is no weight if we put them all in the bag of holding.
Doesn't the bag of holding have a limit of how much?
Yeah, 100
carry.
kilos.
100
So it's not
yeah,
even half.
It's still obviously,
Yeah.
but I'm saying it still counts. You know,
Mhm.
if we
Of
want to
course.
dedicate half of it to food or
Sure.
I mean, it's gonna go down.
Yeah, we just take it out
True,
and put it in
yeah.
the saddlebags for now.
Okay. You said the bag will remain 3.5 kilos no matter what you put in it. So
Okay, so we have.
Mm.
keep it off
Rations.
Celia while we can. She's carrying enough of a load.
So we had 88, so it's
Uh-huh.
like 94 total rations that we have.
wow,
Mm.
Nice.
that's gonna last you a while. Okay. So there was a fun conversation
Oh.
before we were gonna go.
Or is it as we're going?
Or is
It
it
says
as-
we're walking.
Okay.
Walking and talking?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's really not important. We could totally skip it. It's just an interesting lore and funny conversation.
No. I shall find a break in my little travel monologue.
We really don't need to. It's totally unnecessary.
I will
just think it's
accommodate
funny.
you. Accept it.
Do
Let's
it.
go. We want to see more RP.
Be
You've got your
unnecessary.
big-
now, we have to
Be
know.
unnecessary. Sorry.
Anyway, you turn your back on the valley and set your eyes to the east and whatever destiny awaits you there. The path is easy. A traversed path lies before you, taking you past obstacles and eases steep inclines, but sneaking a bit back and forth. This is the path that the Ravenmoor people have created, you realize, as they have traveled to and back from the valley. After a bit more than an hour, you leave the forest behind to ascend the rocky slopes, and the path gets harder to find until you realize there are small heaps of rocks laid out somewhat at equal intervals, with the top stone painted with some kind of black paint, showing you the path of least resistance. You want to talk about anything? Hint.
Inspired by recent events, Akron's gonna, find a point to wander up to Aaron as their habit at this point. So I have a question. Your
course you
people
do.
sound really boring. Did they have drugs, or is that just a human thing?
I'm assuming you mean the recreational kind. And as apart from those to cure wounds?
I mean, either. Mostly the recreational ones, but now you have me curious.
You have to understand, Acheron, that my people are boring, but that is not on them. That was just the nature of where we were. Where I'm from, I think I've mentioned this before, there's no extremes. You could drink and drink and drink, and you would just get barely a tingle of what it feels like to be drunk. You could get sick and sick and sick and still feel like it's just a small headache. There is nothing considered as an extreme. There's no, or where I was, there was no state of being that was beyond what you could handle or what was expected or allowed. It was just was. It wasn't a matter of being boring. We were content. It was a place of complete contentment. No despair, no depression, no anger. Well, only the moderations were had. A life of moderate bliss.
And do you want to go back to that? If it were an option?
I don't want to go back to it because of that moderation. I want to go back because I want to find out what the fuck happened.
What if you wouldn't? What if you'd have to stay there? Is that really where you want to be?
I don't know if it exists. I hope it does. I'm pretty sure it's been a very long time, but I just don't know how long.
Well, didn't we discuss it's probably several hundred years?
Maybe. What if it's longer, though?
Then it's been longer. How long do you live?
Based on how I've kind of deduced how you age, I think I age slower than you do. I'm probably older than Bogdana.
Doesn't surprise me. You kind of talk like an old person, or how I think old people would talk. I don't. I don't
Now
really
listen here, youngster.
don't
Get
really have
off
a lot
my
of
lawn. Sorry.
experience with old people. There weren't really that many anywhere in my life.
I don't know how to explain it. It's different for you getting old than it was getting old for me.
Getting old
And
doesn't seem worth it.
a year, if I look at Bogdana, she's weaker. I'm sure she smokes a pipe and she can handle herself with that stick, but she's not exactly got a lot of strength in her body anymore. I can see her weakening. Moderation. Weakness was moderated too.
Then what's the point of living? If you're just doing it just to do it.
For me?
For anyone. Doesn't sound like you guys have much to live for.
I have a need to find out a lot of answers before I even possibly contemplate just giving up. I'm here for a reason, that much I know, that I can feel. And based on how I remember before I went to sleep, that feeling was there too. There wasn't anything else. Just a wasteland.
Fair enough.
It's curious why you call my people boring.
They sound boring. I mean, sure you have suffering, but you didn't have fun either.
In moderation. We have
Yeah,
fun.
in moderation. If nothing ever changes and everything's always a consistent level of good and bad and just that consistent, moderate. I mean, sure, emotions suck, but there's some pretty good ones out there sometimes.
Aaron looks around to see where Ginevra is. To see if she's within earshot.
Probably in front because Acheron is being quite slow.
Okay. Ginevra, she told me that I had no empathy. Or I was lacking it. And maybe that's how it comes off. Because when I first awoke, I didn't know how to control that moderation. I didn't expect to get drunk. I didn't expect to feel pain. I didn't expect a lot. And to ensure that I don't go beyond those limits, I've tried to force myself to, remind myself how I felt back there, so I don't lose myself here. I think there's a lot of beauty here in Marc. But Maybe I just don't understand how to have fun safely. And maybe you can show me.
Acheron will give you a nod. And we'll, it's like a really small smile. But we'll definitely ask, he says, we'll definitely ask, did it bother you? Her saying you don't have empathy?
Not particularly. I can see why she would say it.
I do think you lack it to a certain degree. Does that bother you?
You can have your own perspectives about me. It doesn't bother me what you think of me.
I don't say that as a bad thing. I certainly have less empathy than you, if that makes you feel better.
I think I can be closed off, which can be masked as lack of empathy. As a result of me being unsure of how to even survive here.
I don't think that's where your lack of empathy comes from. I think you're a soldier, and soldiers do hard things.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
that too.
to some people, our willingness to do what in your case, to do what needs to be done, and in my case, to do what should be done. Sometimes what can be done comes off as unempathetic because it is. Empathy isn't a factor in righteousness.
Well. Anything else?
Yeah, get ready to be pranked. It's only one way to learn how to have fun. It's by having it.
Pranked?
I can all just laugh a tiny bit and not clarify anything.
Right. Aaron looks slightly confused and ends the conversation.
Aaron doesn't know this word.
You're about to.
Perfect. That makes it even better.
Right?
So, can you say that in ancient Markish, please?
There isn't a word in ancient Markish because your people were boring as fuck.
Hey, the dwarves.
At least we weren't sad.
Well, it is not only convenient, but it is also relaxing, as you don't need to think much of where you are going and what is safe. Ravenmoors have already taken care of that, it seems. Small build wooden bridges over streams to prevent your feet from getting wet. Heavy hempen ropes secured by iron staves stuck in the ground to create a railing to hold on to where the squee gets wet and treacherous. Heavy planks set into the ground to ease inclines, creating loose stairwells. And your worries about climbing are also whisked away by iron pigeons secured into cave and glacier sides. Ample footholds, secured ropes to hold on to and catch you, and even a pulley system powered by sturdy wooden wheels and some elbow grease to bring heavy equipment up and down. This you retrofit after a little bit to help Celia along. She's not happy about it, but she accepts it.
Hey, if Bogdana's ram can get up, so can Zelia.
No, not really. Bogdano's mountain goat, you know.
Ram is a chunker, I'm sure.
Mountain goat beats everything, including humans.
It does some jumps, do some precarious balancing, which Celia is unable to do, and a score called circles above your head.
I would like to point out to you, Bexxy, that Celia has elevated stats because of reasons.
Sure, but she's still a horse.
I know. I mean, it's like,
she doesn't
it's not
have
like
the
she's
same...
a dumb animal.
True, but if it's a sheer cliff face, I don't think Celia would be able to climb that as a mountain goat.
Anatomically difficult.
Bad.
feet bad?
Y'all use too many words for this stuff. It's
He's
just
hoofing it.
feet bad, not
Okay.
mountain feet.
I
Not
do
mountain
think
goat
that
feet.
mountain goats have different like balance muscles and stuff like that. I do think they're
Not
anatomically
Incorrect
Yeah,
legs.
watch me teach Zelia to be a ballerina now. Just fight you.
Listen, your horse suffers from incorrect leg syndrome. It's not its fault.
Okay, but we fashion
The pulley
something.
system. Yeah.
pulleys,
What is
ropes.
incorrect leg syndrome?
What would you like to know?
Your legs? You don't have them.
Don't-
That-
They're not right. They're not right for
Lost leg
this.
privileges.
Oh god.
They're not it.
Yeah.
Legs are
Everyone
not it.
suffers. True facts. Everyone suffers from incorrect leg syndrome at least once in their life.
True. Either way, the mountains doesn't seem as scary anymore with all these aids. But your travel is slightly slower than normal because of Akron. You still work up a heavy sweat, and Akron more than usual. And when the path goes past a quite newly built log cabin that Gorkov informs Bogdana that it seems safe from afar, do not hesitate to stop a bit early this day. The trials and tribulations of your journey catching up with you a bit. It's not a luxurious cabin by any sense of the word. It's just an empty space, an outhouse, a firewood cabin, and a central fireplace with a chimney-like contraption above. But, most important, it's dry and it will be toasty. From here, it's still and quiet, and you can watch the pink sunset as it eventually comes.
We're still in relative seclusion.
Yeah,
Or are
well,
we starting to
you're
get
up on the
into-
eastern slopes of Sida Valley, right? You
Yeah.
have traversed quite a lot of the inclines of your journey.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wasn't sure if we were kind of coming across more little villages or holes
Oh no,
or
we're
huts.
very much still in difficult traverse mountain area, so
Okay.
it's kind of strange that there's a cabin here, for sure.
Okay. Then on the way you probably see Ginevra being more, I guess, playful in the way that she traverses, kind of moving more fluidly and maybe like to point of skipping, holding herself up on the sides of the bridge and swinging a little bit as we're moving forward, keeping herself entertained during the slower movement forward. She seems to be freer in her movement and demeanor again, as is her hair. Is there anything weird about this cabin on the
Dennis
outside?
gets a little bit smitten, by the way. He feels a little more at ease as well by your. Well, I mean, it's quite obvious that it's not that old. This seems pretty fresh, and this firewood cabin is well stocked.
Okay.
Not go into the murder cabin.
That sounds
Feel
like
like
one that
nothing.
someone's going to be coming to very soon.
Is this cabin yours,
Well
Bogdana?
stocked, so.
No, it is not. But Gorkov took a check, and there's nobody in there, so I don't know. Why are we complaining? Why do you look
Looks
a
like
gift horse in the mouth?
Well, because someone could definitely come back for it and be very unhappy that there's a bunch of people using the supplies in the cabin.
We can probably kill them.
And we
Yeah.
can replenish the firewood. We have this muscular person here with us.
Yeah, we should probably still have watches, though.
Yes, Aaron will protect us from everything with the sheer power of his muscles.
Can't even get buckle undone,
You
jeez.
know, Acheron, when you're single.
It's a tricky one.
What did she say? Sorry.
She started the sentence, she never ended it, then she walks away.
Okay, let's go in.
Careful, Aaron. Bogdana wants to.
If we haven't, she said the ravens went in. I don't trust her ravens, just FYI. So I'm going to step in and conjure my sword and cast light on it.
Okay.
I have a lightsaber.
You step into the cabin, look around, high alert, and it's an empty space. That is dry.
Then I cast light on like a chandelier or if there's like a torch or something like that, just to illuminate the space.
Central like fire pit.
No.
On like just dirt and like a hole in the slightly raised wooden floor. And that's about it.
Oh, it's like really like a Viking shack.
It does have the central fire pit, yeah.
Okay, I'll move the light onto the central fire pit and do a whistle. An all clear whistle.
Sure. Why not?
Let everyone know it's fine.
Yeah.
Will Zelia
Yeah,
be
room follows
waiting
in.
outside?
No, she's coming inside.
I
It's
mean,
fixed.
if someone's coming, it's just that they'll see Zelia.
Just
And
like
No, I
might be
think-
the first target.
I mean, she's warm as well, so you know,
I mean, if there's space,
there's
I
space.
think it would be
There
good to
should be
bring her
space.
inside.
it would be a little bit tight with Celia, but not impossible.
I'll sleep on top of
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure he'll sleep right on like a bed.
She'll spoon me.
Yeah, and it's pretty early evening. Like you're stopping a little bit early for the night, but it's kind of nice to take it slow. And Acheron seems to need the rest.
How are you doing?
No better or worse than I was earlier.
I'm good. I'm glad that the travel didn't weary you.
You take out some of your treasure trove of rations. Start a fire to get warm, and settle in for an evening.
Sunset. Nice.
Well, Titania.
Great.
After dinner, somewhere in the middle of this beautiful play of colors of the sunset, you hear a voice in your head that you kind of wish you never heard again. Titania, what on Frostmark happened at the artifact site? Why are they all dead, but you four survived? This is important. Write me a letter.
It's Irene's voice.
Yes, indeed.
Titania does not respond to the sending spell. She just waits as long as it takes for it to fade and immediately goes to find Acheron once she knows that whatever her words are going to be said are not going to be heard.
As you
Actually,
go,
not just Acheron, goes to find the entire group.
Alright, as you kind of sit up in your sleeping bag and like brings everyone's attention, you immediately hear, "Ignore me all you want. This is not about me, but something bigger. Tell me, or I will be forced to deploy other means. Write a report."
Tanya's still not going to respond.
And you're all a little bit confused. Like, Titania just, wanted all of your attention, and you just go silence and, like, looks up
Tanya
into
just
the
throws up
ceiling.
like a signal. Like, one moment.
And then you
Just
know,
waits.
like 30 seconds afterwards or so, you know that the spell has faded, and then just silence reigns.
Well, Irene knows Irene knows what happened. I think we may have been had.
That was never not going to happen.
Yes, but
I just wish there could have been longer before it did.
there'd been a little bit more time. She's just tried to contact me magically and is asking me to write a report on the events that have occurred.
Alright, you need to finish copying that book so we can toss them out, because they're being tracked, remember?
Yep.
Is there
And
ways that
they-
she can keep an eye on you beyond the book?
We don't know.
We do not know.
But do you know with that bag that you have, is that... I'm just like, because Titania's real smart and you already cast the identify spell, whether or not you would already know an interdimensional space would mean she can't track things.
A, would Titania know that? B, is that how that works in the Frostmark system?
An extra dimension, like in Frostmark, the bag of holding just leads to a part of the stellar expanse, just like a corner of it. You have no idea where that is. I mean, I don't think you can scry upon the actual space in the stellar expanse. That would be pretty convoluted. Or track it. They could be like a tracking kind of.
Well, does Scry actually not say it has to be on the same plane of existence?
I think it does.
Yeah, I think so.
And the same ascending? So...
No, ascending is. It does
Oh no,
not.
it's,
do
it has a
but
chance.
It's a 5%
but
chance.
Scry has to be.
Yes,
yeah,
Scry has to be on the same. Well,
So from a
plane of
tracking
existence
perspective-
is very D&D. Excuse me, on the same realm.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Soup.
But there could be some kind of tracking magic involved, but then you would have gotten that from your identify, as you
Yeah,
did
that's
with
fine.
the spellbook.
You know, it's worth a shot. For the time being while I'm not using it, and whenever I'm not working on copying things over, Titania just dropped the spellbook in the bag of
I mean,
holding.
we have some time now. Because the sooner the better, because every time you get it out, she'll know where we are, so the sooner
Yeah.
we can keep it out the way, the better.
So, I've been periodically reading up on the rules for copying over spells for a spellbook. It is its souls equal to the level of the spell to copy it down. Can I use second level souls to copy down 2 first level spells? How exactly does that work? And how does that work for actually cantrips aren't inherent. Cantrips aren't a spellbook thing, never mind.
Yeah, I would allow you to do Suppotocy 2 to do 2 first level, yes. But time would be, double, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The process takes 2 hours per level of the spell, so she can do... Would I have to do it during downtime, or can I do it while we're riding? While we're walking?
You're not riding. Well, I don't think you can do it doing walking, because it requires, precise...
Total concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you work
Okay,
8 hours per
jeez.
day, you need 8 hours rest. So, technically, over the day, if you do nothing else but eat and, inscribe, which I don't think you can, you would have 8 hours extra.
Mhm.
If we remove 2 hours of that, maybe 6 hours, reasonably per day.
If we were to take a day off of travel because we're just forcing ourselves to move now to keep a pace, how many would that help? If we were to take a day off just to like finish our activities like this.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first level spells and 1 second level spell. That is 18 hours of work total.
Okay, so
needed to
taking
get
a
all
day
this
would
done.
definitely help.
Taking a day would definitely help.
But
That's
it
what
also
I-
gives them a day to catch up by
There-
their special means.
I will say,
whatever she's
however,
talking about.
I will need to do this. I will need to spend every soul that I have and summon the soul gem.
Oh shit.
Do you
I
have
mean,
to
I
do
can
them
give you
all?
some of mine if I know how to do that.
I mean, you're talking about all the spells, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you need all the spells? Are all the spells valuable or useful?
I have Bane, Healing Word, Bless, Mage Armor, Alarm, Command, Find Familiar, and Detect Thoughts.
In the spellbook?
In the spellbook, yes.
Those are really good
In
spells.
Osprey's spellbook. But I'm saying, like, are all of those necessary for you to inscribe? Like, because I think we already have Bless, right?
Yeah,
I think we already have.
She's better at casting than me though.
Here's my
Okay.
thoughts on it, right? Like, either we don't take a day to shorten some of the load, and we travel longer with a spellbook we know is tracking us.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't give them as much time to catch up to us, but they know exactly where we are. Or we take the day, give them a chance to catch up to us, but we get rid of the spellbooks faster.
I'm suggesting that we probably do the latter, where we take some time and copy. But it's a question of understanding if you actually need to do all of them in the spellbook, so you don't like burn all your souls, and like to take it practically.
And
Like,
also,
there's no
I
bandit
haven't
hunting.
gone thoroughly through
No.
Osprey's spellbook either yet. So, and I want those. Those are very.
So
Those are.
let's do like this. With the revelation that you have just been contacted by Cotton Lorraine by sending, and you immediately start to worry and wonder how we're going to progress. Let's end tonight's episode of Asia's Return and see what happens next time. And you use the time to figure out what to do.
How we're gonna do this?